Welcome, everyone, to Sportsman's Park. It's time for the Black and Gold Brawl going on here tonight. Game one of the triple header going on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, of course. Ty Friend, Ron Gunner with you. And tonight, the Hobbs Eagles take on Farmington, the Scorpions. Kind of a long road trip for this green squad, coming all the way from that northwest part of the state down to southeast New Mexico.
Right.
Probably a little bit warmer here the next couple of weeks. That's probably why they are happy to come on down to this part of the state. But at the same time, Farmington's looking for their first win of the season, 0-2, and a tough one to have to play Hobbs here on such a nice field here at Sportsman.
It is. It's going to be interesting to see Hobbs 1-2, as you mentioned, Farmington 0-2. This series actually doesn't go far back. It's only been about 12 years since they've seen each other, and they each time they faced Farmington, it's been here at Hobbs, and it's 1-1 is the series. Hobbs won the first meeting, and Farmington won the second meeting 6-3. So we're hoping to see that Hobbs can improve on their start. They went to Cleveland, went up there, had 3 games, went 1-3, and won 1 game against, weirdly enough, Cleveland, who was actually the home team, and didn't expect to see that. But hopefully that team will come out and be able to face this Farmington team and prove that they can, not only bat but also pitch as well.
Yeah, Hobbs bats have not been working that great the first week or so of the season. They've been outscored 26-8. And 12-1 loss to Los Lunas. You mentioned Cleveland won 5-3, which they have been pretty successful picking off Cleveland. It seems like 3 years in a row now, I believe. Lost to Berlin, though, 11-2. So 2 of those games, double digits. Los Lunas with 12 runs and Berlin with 11. And really, the sour notes came through the first 3 innings of those games. Hobbs was down early against Los Lunas 5-0 in the first inning. We're down 8-1 at the end of 3. And then against the Berlin squad, they were down 3-0 in the first inning, and then 8-1 after the end of 3. Both the scores 8-1 at the end of those third innings. So there you can see that the first through third is not working too good. Bats need to get on tap really quickly in these games, these 3 games here at Sportsman's Park with such good teams coming in. So 26-8 the run count right now. Hobbs got to get those things swing a little bit better. Batting average 239 on the season right now, and on base percentage at 289. So lots of people need to step up to the plate. Of course, these 2 teams from last year, Hobbs and Farmington, both made it to the playoffs. The Eagles squeaked in at number 16, of course, and they were just happy to make it to the field. They were under 500, 10-18, 4-5 in district. Of course, lost to Rio Rancho, who was a number 1 team. 16 has to play 1, as you know, Ron.
Right.
7-1, 6-5 loss there for the Eagles and knocked them out of the playoffs. Of course, the other team, Farmington, they were coming in at number 11. They had to take on Centino, the number 6 squad, and lost 12-4, 6-2 in the first round. So both teams bounced early, and that's where it is at this point. Right now, Farmington comes into the contest. You mentioned 0-2, 3-1 loss to Rio Grande, and 5-4 to a lower division Goddard. 1-run difference there. So they've been outscored 8-5. A little bit closer situation with their runs scored. Still just single digits for them as well. In fact, they only have 5 runs in 2 games. So both teams, I think, are trying to get their offense going here early in the season.
Exactly, and especially with Farmington last year, like you said, they were 13-14. They were 5-5 in district. There also is the 3rd year for Kerry King, the coach of this team. He is 33-24 in his so far in his career at Farmington. He has an 11-9 district series run so far. But he wants to go ahead and get in here. He's traveled all this way. They want to see if they can get their bats swinging as well. And I'm sure they think that Hobbs is perfect for that. Last year they struggled a little bit against, like you said, with the bats as well as the pitching from time to time. It was either spot on or they were giving up some runs, unfortunately, at unfortunate times, especially during errors. There was a lot of error throwing or bad throws throughout some games, but I'm thinking that they're going to be cleaning that up as well as some getting some bats to bat for today.
Defensively, the Eagles have given up 31 hits this season. That's almost double the amount that they've collected themselves offensively. Hobbs with 17 hits so far through the 3 games. And they've had 71 at-bats. Their opponents have had 86, so 15 more at-bats for the 3 teams that they played so far. The Eagles have had 4 walks. In terms of their hits, 5 doubles, 2 triples, and 10 singles up to this point out of their 17. They have struck out 28 times. Been left on base 28 as well, so those are the 2 no-no stats that you don't want to have, 28s and strikeouts and left on base. But hopefully they get that thing turned around here on their home field. Some home cooking going on here. Nice field as usual. You see the big eagle eyes looking at us on the back wall there at center field, which is always exciting. Let's get a quick rundown of the starting lineup, first of all, for the Farmington Scorpions. Starting off, Joe Darnell, he'll be the left fielder. Sebastian Delgado, he will be at third base. Santiago Long, the catcher. Jordan Pope, the shortstop. Danny Hagstrom, the center fielder. Wyatt Bugnall, he'll be the first baseman. J.J. Oliver, right field. Dylan Damaria, the second baseman, or Darwin, excuse me, Dylan Darwin. And, of course, the last but not least in the outfield, or infield, I should say, will be number 4, Nathaniel Matamoros. Make sure I get that one said right. Actually, he's a DH. He's just one of the hitters for him. The actual final man on the mound is Eli Edmonston, the pitcher for Farmington. So there's your lineup call there for Farmington, the Scorpions, and your Hobbs Eagles as they get ready for their big home game here for this 3-day tournament they got going on, the round-robin situation. It'll be Gerardo Gonzalez, the third baseman, starting off the hitting order for the Eagles. Josiah Martinez will be the right fielder. Jason Fuentes, the shortstop. Xavier Alvarado at first base. Canyon Johnson, who also does some pitching, but he'll be the DH in this game offensively. Cole Kester behind the plate. He's the catcher, the home plate, I should say. Christian Montez, the second baseman. Saulo Armendariz coming from last year's team, the left fielder, and Juan Camacho, the center fielder. And on the mound, Luke Parrish will get his start here at Sportsman's Park. We mentioned the Eagles batting on the season at .239, and a couple of guys getting the big numbers at this point. That includes Christian Montez. He's got a batting average of .500 right now with 4 hits, including 1 double, so definitely got to keep his bat swinging against his Farmington team. A couple other guys, Jason Fuentes right now, the sophomore, at .375 in terms of swinging. He's got 3 hits, 2 RBIs, and a double as well. So some of the guys that are on top of the leaderboard in terms of the bat percentages. Josiah Martinez also with a .250 average. He's got 2 hits, one of those an RBI so far this season. Camacho is batting at .286 for the Eagles with 2 hits and an RBI. And another guy in the 200s is Gonzalez, as he comes in at .250 with a couple of hits and a double and a triple. So he's one of the multi-hitters for the Eagles, the Sluggers, at this point in time. But again, always like to see the offense fired up here at Sportsman's Park.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things that I see that is key, or looks like it could be key, although experience doesn't always mean that you're going to have a great game, but Hobbs has more seniors than the Farmington Scorpions do. Scorpions coming in with 3 seniors, 6 juniors, and 4 sophomores, although actually with the Hobbs it's kind of leveled out to even 7 seniors, 1 junior, and 6 sophomores. Going to see if the experience helps out with the youth and gets them into that winning track. I think today they can do that, especially since, you know, earlier I was concerned about the wind. I think the wind is not going to be a problem. If it is, it looks like it's blowing in the right direction for a home run, so that can be easily lifted over the fence possibly, but you know, you got to hit it just right to be able to do that. And still, I think this is going to be a good game, whether no matter what, whether the weather helps us or not, it's still going to be a good game. I should say that.
You mentioned the experience for the Eagles. They've got a handful of guys that had 20-plus games last year in a Hobbs Eagle uniform. A couple of them at 26. Josiah Martinez, of course, the right fielder. He batted at .250 last year. Saul Armendariz had 25 games under his belt at .175 behind the plate. Xavier Alvarado with 26 games last year. He was one of the leaders in terms of hitting for Hobbs at .324 and had 2 home runs as an Eagle last year. And I believe one other guy, too, Nicholas Gonzalez, he had 20 games last year and had a .200 batting average. And he's also a pitcher and a second baseman for the Eagles. So a bunch of guys have been around the plates and taking care of business. Last year got some experience, got a playoff series with that first round up against Rio Rancho, the #1 team in the state. So they know how it feels to play some big games. And like you said, always nice to see some experience. You know, we just got done with the basketball season where we just had 1 graduating senior on the squad.
Exactly. And, you know, one of the things that I remember from last year about that Rio Rancho game, or the games, the 3 games, is the third game, it was 5-5. It was tied up with the 7th inning, and they had to go into extras. Unfortunately, there was a walk-off home run for the Rams in the first hit. But Hobbs looked good. They were not backing down. They did lose the first one big, but the second one, they came back, made it a game, and almost got a squeaker of a victory on that one. So, you know, it was close, but unfortunately, things didn't work out for them. It looked like they might have been able to get an extra run before the 7th inning was ended. Unfortunately, though, they were shut down, and like I said, they got that walk-off home run in the 8th, and that was the ball game, basically.
Eagles finish up .252 in batting average last year as a team. Right now, again, they sit at .239, so they got some catching up to do, although this is just the 4th game of the season. Well, we got the Farmington Scorpions in town tonight, the finale of tonight's action. A lot of different teams are here. I just saw the Artesia bus outside and quite a few other squads. Clovis just got done playing a few minutes ago. They got blasted pretty hard in their game prior to this one. We're down 8-1 in the bottom of the 7th. We are slated for 7 in this one. We'll take a quick break as Coach Boyle heads out to the mound to get ready for the coaches committee meeting with the umpires. Stay with us. We'll be back in 2 minutes on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back live to Sportsman's Park. We've got the big tournament starting up here for the Hobbs Eagles. Their first game tonight against the Farmington Scorpions. Hobbs at 1-2, the Scorpions at 0-2, so they are looking for their first win on this big road trip up from the northwest part of the state. Time friend Ron Gunner with you. Evie Stuber back at the station tonight, and we're live on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, on the Hobbs Sports page, and a Cole 95.7 Facebook page. The starting pitcher for tonight's Hobbs Eagles, that is Luke Parrish. Of course, he's the son of the principal, Jason Parrish, with the Hobbs High School. He is ERA right now at 14, 0-1 record at this point in one appearance, and he's met 14 batters up to this point in time. Other stats, he's given up 7 hits, 8 runs, 4 of those were earned, so half of them. 1 walk and 4 strikeouts. Again, 14 batters he has faced so far this season. And, of course, Parrish did get some action last year, Ron. He was just a freshman and had 15 games of action with the Hobbs Eagles.
Yeah, he did. And he had his moments where he looked really, really sharp, really good. In fact, he had several innings where he didn't even give up a hit. And then, of course, there was other times when he did give up a few. And, unfortunately, that was kind of the way of the Hobbs Eagles. It was either feast or famine. They couldn't get one or the other or one without the other at certain times. But they did play well in certain innings. And we're hoping to see that spectacular effort today.
Now, both teams are wearing some dark black tops tonight, so that'll be kind of fun to try to keep track of those. And the Eagles have the kind of the light outline on those numbers, so we'll try to keep close as possible on those. Farmington wearing the white numbers on top of their uniform, so that'll be a little bit easier to check out there in the around the bases at this point. Let me quickly remind you the infield is for the Eagles. Alvarado first, Montez second, Gonzalez third. Shortstop is Fuentes, Luke Parrish on the mound, Kestner behind the plate. And from left to right, Armendariz, Camacho, and Montez. So that's your defensive lineup. And starting off quickly here for Farmington, Joe Darnell. He is the left fielder. So he takes his jog up to the third base line. They've got Coach King out there on the coaching box there right next to third. Eagles getting in their spots now in the infield as they're ready for some baseball here. First of the 3-game bang, Thursday through Saturday. Again, tomorrow night, 7:30, and Saturday at 12:30. Eagles hosting games. First pitch coming in from Parrish. Fastball down the middle, whacked on the handle. It's going to take a bounce out to shortstop. Fuentes with a good throw to first and connects to Alvarado. That's on a 6-2-3 for the first out quickly. And that came off the handle pretty hard there. And, boy, not waiting any time to swing that bat was Darnell.
It was not. He was going to try to see if he can catch fire early. It didn't happen. He was out at first.
Bring up Sebastian Delgado. He's the third baseman as Parrish is ready to go with the windup and the throw. Curve it inside. Just barely. No, late call from the official. The fist pumps up high in the air. Looked like it dropped low at the last second. Guess definitely what you want to see to make that batter guess a little bit.
Exactly, and definitely was a long wait, but we got the right call.
Parrish with the fastball, swing and a miss as it came off the edge of the bat that time for Delgado. Now facing an 0-2 count against the sophomore Parrish. Here in the top of the first, already one down. Off the grounder over to short. Fastball comes off the handle to the right backstop, out of play for the foul ball. This is a round-robin tournament, so no brackets being played in this in the next 3 days. We'll talk about some of the other competitors here in a couple of minutes. Here comes the 0-2, fastball, late swing. It's going to go between first and second, scooped up by the Eagles. Alvarado, they're going to have some coverage there as Parrish chases to the first to help out, but the throw is a little late. And it took a little bit of time, and that will get Delgado on the first bag for a base runner for Farmington.
Yeah, he ran quickly enough. Unfortunately, you're right. The throw was a little late. Didn't get there in time, and runner is safe at first.
Going to give him a hit on that one, a single for Farmington. Kind of a good shot there, not quite halfway between first and second, so that did get the Eagles off that bag, Alvarado, to try to chase it down.
Sometimes if you hit it just well enough, then that's all it takes.
Santiago Long, the catcher, third in the order for Farmington as he takes a little brim touch there. Fastball way outside. Good save there, sliding right is Kestner to keep it from going wild, and if that would have gone out towards the dugout there, Farmington on the right side definitely would have advanced the runner.
Off a wild pitch. You're right
Delgado.
about that.
Big leadoff for Delgado at first. Parrish takes a quick peek. Looks back to Long. Curve it inside. This is going to take a wicked turn out to right field, center right. Nice catch coming over the center fielder for the Eagles. Camacho making the grab. You can hear the whack of the bat on that one. And a quick curve out there as the wind took that a little. It wasn't high, but it did kind of make it into a curve situation to make the adjustment there for Camacho.
Yeah, it was a beeline for Camacho. All he had to do was just move over a little bit and adjust The wind helped a little bit, but still, it was easy. It was an easy catch, really.
Cleanup man coming in now, Jordan Pope, the shortstop. Still that runner at first, Delgado. Parrish is going to fire fastball. A little bit high. A flinch there by Pope. Doesn't commit on that one for the ball.
That's his first ball for the game so far. And Luke is actually making quick work of it. He can get this one out really quickly. He'll have under 10 pitches.
Wind's blowing a little bit out there in right center. Parrish turns, fires a curveball. There's going to be a stolen base attempt, and it's going to be a dive in easily for Delgado to second. Throw a little bit off to the right. Luckily, it didn't bounce through the gap there to right center. Stolen base for Farmington. And so far this season, that's the 8th stolen base against the Eagles defensively. Hobbs has had 3 as a team so far on the offensive side. So Jordan Pope still at the plate with a 1-1 count. Parrish looks back at second. Curveball right down the pike, and holding on it was Pope to take the strike on that one. Getting behind in the count now, 1-2. And looks like Delgado trying to be an aggressive base runner out there, getting a big lead off at second, although there are 2 outs to deal with.
So, yeah, he has very little to lose on that one as the next pitch comes up.
Parrish taking a little bit more time now. Steps back up on the rubber and peeks back at second. Wind up in the throw, curve. Little late swing, going to go over the backstop out towards the old JV field on the right. Out of play. Only field being used tonight. This is the last one here at Sportsman's Park. A long day of baseball.
Yeah, batter still alive, though, has at least one more chance to get on base.
Pope still trying to get a hook up here with a 2-out situation. Fastball goes low and outside. Diving over for it was Kestner to keep it in play and make sure that base runner got himself back to second, Delgado.
Yeah, Parrish trying to see if he'll chase on that one, and Pope hasn't so far.
Hagstrom, Bugnell, and Oliver, 5, 6, and 7 in the order for Farmington. Working on their first win of the season. Fastball low and outside again, and the stolen base attempt to slide to third. They get the throw over there. And they're going to say there was a lift, I guess. Nice job to try to get the tag by Gonzalez for the Eagles as the throw came hard. And the fans thought that was a closed book on Farmington, but they're going to say the stolen base converted. So 2 stolen bases now for Delgado, now at third, knocking at the door. Fans are a little bit not happy about that with a full count now, as Pope's spending a lot of time at the plate as he waggles the bat behind that right ear. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes Parrish. Fastball, chunker off the handle. It's going to take a roll over to Coach King there on the coach's box third base line as he chucks it back to Parrish at the mound. It looked like a good swipe there at third base to stop Delgado getting there. That would have been the 3rd out, too, so no chance for scoring. But now a little bit closer than they were before. Curveball inside, swing and a miss. Or actually, no, holding on it for a second. Pope thought it would be a walk call there and decided not to swing. Kind of came up over a little bit, but that will be strike 3 and an out for Pope. Although it was Farmington getting 1 hit, they left 1 on base, no runs come across. We head to the bottom of the first. Your Hobbs Eagles at the plate. We'll be back live in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
All right, we are back live here at Veterans Memorial Complex as Hobbs is going to be going up next. Of course, it's the bottom of the first. It is 0-0 so far, and we're facing Farmington 0-2. Hobbs at 1-2, and for the call, let's go and take it away, Ty Friend.
Farmington infield, Bugnell at first, Darwin second, Delgado at third, Eli Edmonston at the mound for Farmington. Long behind the plate, the catcher, and Pope at short. Darnell, Hagstrom, and Oliver left to right in the outfield. Hobbs Eagles lead off the order. Gerardo Gonzalez, Josiah Martinez, also Jason Fuentes and Xavier Alvarado. And both teams we mentioned wearing the dark tops tonight, although you can make a little bit of a difference look here as Farmington with the white numbers and letters, and the Eagles kind of that dull gold. Very hard to see from up here at this point, but We'll keep track of them the best we can. Looks like Hobbs wore more of the white pants tonight and Farmington in the grays.
Yeah, still too close to call, though, at times.
Green caps, though. That'll be one thing to make a distinction there. And, of course, Farmington Scorpions, a major road trip. I can't remember how long that is, about 11, 12 hours, I believe, up to Farmington.
Well, it seems like that. Overall, I think that's the round trip, but I think it's more like 6 hours overall, one way. But, yeah, I haven't been to Farmington in a long, long time.
So still some warm-up action here for the Scorpions. Their first defensive look tonight. Everybody gets everything taken care of now as the infield is ready to play some defense, and your Hobbs Eagles will step up. Gerardo Gonzalez, the third baseman for Hobbs, with his batting music here. Gonzalez coming in at 250 so far this season. Does have a couple of hits, double and a triple, so a little bit extended action there on his swing. Takes the first fastball high for ball one.
Yeah, that was a nice pitch, but never chased it.
Edmondson again on the mound, goes to the fastball. Low and outside for ball two. Good eye for Gonzalez to get this thing going for the Eagles. Trying to be the first base runner for the black and gold. Of course, Hobbs led Eagles in action on Friday night. They'll play at Task Arena for the first round of the state basketball playoffs. Fastball goes low, but just barely hits the bottom of the strike zone on the right, as holding on it was Gonzalez for the first strike. Count 2-1 now. That's Gonzalez ahead of Edmonston. Fastball high for ball three. And tomorrow that game, by the way, for the Hobbs Lady Eagles at Tasker against Las Cruces High will be on our sister station radio, the Eagle 100.5, and again on all the internet sites like we are tonight for baseball. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Curving inside is going to be a dribbler out to short. A scoop by Pope, a little bit late on the handle there. Enough time for Gonzalez to sprint it out there to first, and that's going to go down as a single.
Exactly. Bobbled the ball, and luckily that was just enough to be able to get the runner to advance to first.
Did you get an error on that one or hit?
We're seeing if that's an error or a hit. Looked like it was a hit, but not for certain. You know, the error rule is always in question for me anyway, and you never can tell for certain unless you know the exact rule.
Yeah, they go ahead and say he bobbled it just a bit there, so that will go down as an error. But did get Gonzalez on base for the Eagles. Take it any way you can. Fastball goes a little low, but holding it the lefty Martinez. Josiah Martinez, the right fielder, takes the pitch for the strike. Again, he has Gonzalez on base due to the error. Of course, that's very, like you said, subjective statistic in terms of what you consider ability to make the play, not make the play, if there's any distractions there or not.
Exactly.
Nodding his head up and down as Edmonston throws a fastball. A little check swing there down low near the plate by Martinez and takes a foul roll out towards the third base box there in front of the Hobbs Eagle dugout. And Coach Boyle is backed up way towards the dugouts, not staying in the box at this point. Wants to stretch his legs a little bit. But right now his player Martinez is in an 0-2 count situation. Definitely needs to make contact here and protect the plate. Fastball, ooh, boy, he held on that one and very close to being called a third strike there, Ron.
Yeah, but luckily it was not. Turned out to be a ball. That was a very safe bet that he looked at it, looked close, like you said, but he held off, and he got lucky on that one.
Lead off at first for Gonzalez. A 1-2 coming here from Edmonston. Turns and fires. Fastball outside for ball two. Evens up the count. So kind of crawling back into it as Martinez now is down 0-2, now 2-2. Second in the order for the Eagles.
There's still one pitch to give up. See if he can make him swing or if he's just going to see if he can get another ball out of here.
Martinez 250 on the season with a couple of hits. RBI to his name, a single. Little change-up look here. High and outside for ball three. Now a full count. Again, big comeback for Martinez in this one.
Exactly, and looking good so far as he's continuing to let the bat rest on his shoulder. It's paid off, but right now I think he's going to have to swing at this one.
He's got only one of two of the stolen bases the Eagles have this season, himself and Montez. Trying to get a chance to get another runner on here with a 3-2 or strike count. Fastball low, and the stolen base attempt is on and good for Gonzalez. They're going to call a strike on that one. It was very low near the plate, and he just held on it, did Martinez. But the stolen base for Gonzalez, he's at second now.
Yep, so it does advance a runner. That's basically all that happened good because otherwise the batter got struck out.
So that's one down for the Eagles. It is 0-0 here in the bottom of the first. Runner at second is Gonzalez. Up next is Jason Fuentes, the shortstop for Hobbs. Number 5. He's batting .375, second best average on the team. 3 hits, 2 RBIs, a double to his name. As Edmondson pulled out of his pitch here, checking the runner there at second. That was Gonzalez. Back to a righty is Fuentes, third in the order.
The second double would advance the runner, and that would be 1 score, the first score for the game.
Here comes the pitch from Edmondson. Little curve that drops low for ball 1. So Eagles doing a better job now watching the pitches just a bit. It's Coach Boyle clapping out to Gonzalez to be smart on the bases here. Don't want to get a second out on overextending, which had a couple of those outs last year I can remember where guys were going way too past the bag and having to pay the price with the tag outs.
Exactly, or they were trying to gamble and didn't quite pay off.
Fastball down the middle, comes off the handle and hits the middle of the backstop for the ball.
Yeah, one of the things a good batter can do is just be patient, wait for his pitch, but also be able to see when the pitch is right, and be able to contact it and hit it just right at that sweet spot and be able to get it at least in the outfield.
1-1 count now. Edmondson taking a little deeper breath, says no to his catcher behind the plate on a couple of pitch calls there for Long. Looks back at second to check on Gonzalez, turns and fires a fastball low and outside. Good save, backhand there for Long to keep that in play. But it is a ball for number 2.
That could have easily advanced the runner to third.
Eagles on base percentage so far this season at .289, and again batting average at .239. So getting on about 28% of the time. Definitely want to improve on those numbers with another base runner here. Here comes a 2-1 pitch from Edmonston. Fastball cracked hard to third. It's going to be played easily by Delgado. Fires to first and tries to get back and chance for a double play. But they do get the stamp on the bag first. Bugno comes down with it at first and able to stamp out Fuentes for the second out off the ground to third. So that'll be the 5-3 for out number 2. That's going to bring in the cleanup man for the Eagles, Xavier Alvarado, the first baseman, number 10. He's batting .111 this season. 1 hit and an RBI was on a double that he had. That was his only hit of the season and was a double. So you're going to get one. Might make it one of those extra base types.
Absolutely.
Our 2 outs to deal with, though. Still have the runner at second. Change-up look coming down low for the strike. Swing and a miss for Alvarado.
That was an early swing. Wasn't quite prepared for that one at all.
A little bit more of a delay now for Elmiston, the pitcher for Farmington. Very delayed wind-up here for him. Turns and fires the fastball. Just barely misses the outside corner on the left side of the plate. Pretty close there from up this advantage point, but power does give the Eagles the advantage on that one. 1-1 count with 2 down. Eagles trying to get on the scoreboard, the first of the game here in the bottom of the first. Edmondson looks back at second. The windup. This one cracks down low, and Long right on top of it, left of the plate. Definitely wants to keep himself moving to the left just to try to urge Gonzalez to get off that second bag a little bit too much and throw him out.
Yeah, it would be nice. He'd be loving the fact that Hobbs would have 3 outs, and that way he'd get off the mound and be able to get into the next inning.
I forgot to mention that Alvarado and lefty, 2 out of the top 4 hitters for the Eagles are lefties to start the order. Curveball outside for ball 3. So getting well ahead of the count now is Alvarado. 3 balls and a strike with 2 down. Still got to make sure if you're going to swing the bat, you got to get a nice shot at it hard. You don't want to make a dribbler inside the infield there with the 2 outs. Any bag could be in play.
Yep.
Here's the 3-1 pitch. Ooh, inside and having to washing machine his way away from it. Almost hit his elbow that time. That will be a walk regardless for Alvarado. So now the Eagles have runners at first and second to kind of open it up a little bit more. The force out would be at third. Nobody on that bag at this point. Gonzalez has been kind of holding out at second for a while. Now the meeting of the minds. Looks like Farmington wants to talk to the infield a bit.
It's a little early, but yeah, I guess they want to make sure they're on the same page, and they're a little fearful that Hobbs has 2 on so far early in this first.
Of course, Farmington, well known for that Connie Mack tournament they have every summer and bringing in teams from all over the country. They're the hotbed for Little League Baseball, with many different age divisions playing up there in Farmington. Everybody goes back to their spots in the infield, including the Eagles on the bases. Again, Gonzalez at second. He's been sitting out there for a while. And Alvarado just picked up a walk. Hobbs looking for their first hit of the first inning, bottom of the first. Still 0-0. 2 down. Of course, Edmonston stays on the mound. He throws a curve, and it drops low as it comes across the plate for the strike. Good eye for Kenyon Johnson, the DH. Of course, he played some football. He's also a pitcher for the Eagles and playing the offensive position here in this game. Has not had a hit yet, but does have an RBI due to a walk. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Edmonston. Little dropper comes across the plate and comes towards that plate, and Johnson waited on that one to pick up the strike. 1-1 count. Still runners at first and second for the Eagles. Putting a little bit of pressure there on Edmonston. Takes a peek back at second to see what Gonzalez is trying to do. Fastball down the middle. Pretty pitch there for Edmonston to get the second strike. Now it's going to be Johnson to try to dig himself out of a hole.
Yeah, 2-1 down. The batter is, it's up to him to be able to at least get in contact on this, if not make full contact and get it in play.
He did mention he does have an RBI this season. Would love to get one off a hit here. Single would at least get the bases loaded. Little late swing on that one inside. It sends it to the right backstop. Looks like one of the coaches there from Farmington is going to track it down here behind home plate.
And he is staying alive with a 0-2 count, or 2-1 count. A 1-2 count.
1-2, there we go. Third time's a charm.
I know, right? I get it. Just like Johnson, he'll get it too.
Time called as the home plate umpire pointing out to second. Johnson takes a few practice swings as he stepped out. He's right back in quickly now for the Eagles. Waggling that bat behind the ear. The 1-2 count. Edmondson takes another peek back at Gonzalez. Turns, fires, curveball. Off the handle, he's going to roll out towards second or short to Pope. Fires it across and having to extend behind the bag at first to make the catch. Bugnell for out number 3. So that ends up being a 6-3 for out number 3 on the ground out to short by Johnson. Well, the Hobbs Eagles getting no hits in the bottom of the first. They do leave 2 on base, 1 walk, no runs come across. We head to the top of the second. 0-0, Farmington and Hobbs. We are slated for 7 here at Sportsman's Park. We'll be back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
All right, welcome back. We are live here. Of course, we just started the sports season of baseball, and we are at the top of the first, 0-0, all knotted up. It's top of the second, as we are going to see next coming up is Farmington. And for the call, here is Ty Friend.
Fifth in the order, Danny Hagstrom, the center fielder, facing Parrish on the mound, the sophomore pitcher for the Eagles, Luke Parrish. Throws a curveball inside. This is going to take a massive hop over second base and roll out into center field. Getting down on knee for the Eagles is Camacho to make sure it didn't get by him. But hard shot there and the low pitch, but a golf-like swing there for Hagstrom. Second hit of the ball game for the Scorpions.
Yeah, and already 1 hit off of 1 pitch. Not a good sign so far, but it's still early, so Luke can still get out of this.
Yeah, Parrish ended up the first inning with a strikeout. Had 1 hit, ground out, and a fly out. Ground to short and a fly to center field.
And he did all that in 13 pitches.
Wyatt Bugnell, the first baseman now, who is 6th in the order. Oliver, Darwin, and Montemoris, 7 through 9 in the order for Farmington. Parrish takes a little time on the mound, get himself situated here. Again, just a sophomore. Bunch of Hand signals over there by Coach King for Farmington at third base.
Yeah, batter was showing bunt.
Curveball inside and ripped down, but Kestner looked like he was going to chuck it to first, but made sure everybody thought that and just held the ball behind home plate as he stepped out right of it. Runner stays at first in Hagstrom. And again, another lefty here for Farmington. Wyatt Bugdahl. Lead off at first there for Hagstrom, who just came up with a single. Curveball, another bunt show. It's going to dribble out toward Parrish. He just underhands it on the run to first as he makes the connect to Alvarado. Little softball pitch there that time and gets the first out on the little toss there, beanbag toss over to his first baseman for the first out.
Yeah, the sacrifice play worked. It advanced the runner to second, but he was taken out at first from the pitcher.
So one down, though. Runner advances to second. That is Hagstrom. And that'll bring up their taller players out there. J.J. Oliver, he's the right fielder. Takes a few seconds to look over to Coach King and see what part of the field the coach wants him to hit it in. Oliver, a junior. Pitcher and outfielder. Curveball comes dropping down at the last second and across the plate for the strike as Oliver held on that one.
Yeah, as you like to say, down the pike for a strike.
Top of the second inning here. 2 hits for Farmington, none yet for the Hobbs Eagles. Do have 1 walk to their name. That was Alvarado. Pulling off the mound and looking possibly to throw to second was Parrish, but decided against it. Good decision there. I don't think he had his baseman covering there quick enough. Montez wasn't in the cards on that play. Here's the windup of the throw from Parrish. Fastball, kind of a lunging swing there. Jousting that time with the fencing apparatus there, but missing the ball was Oliver for the strike, and he's down now 0-2 to Parrish. Definitely like to get another out up on that scoreboard.
Exactly, and that would ease Parrish's mind a whole lot, even with the runner behind him.
He had to deal with a couple of runners in that last inning as well and came out of the jam. Curveball inside, whacks it out to third, played by Gonzalez. A high throw, and jumping up in the air to bring it down for the Eagles is Alvarado, saving a wild throw from across the field that time. Off the 5-3, and again, if Alvarado wouldn't have got off up on that ladder, that ball would have been close to the Farmington dugout on that first base line.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a little offline on that one, but it did hit the target just well enough to be able to get that out, and that's one of the things that Hobbs had a problem with last season.
So a couple of ground outs here in the last couple of pitches as Dylan Darwin steps up. The second baseman takes the fastball down the middle for the strike. Luke's starting to get warmed up a little bit here. The force is with him, Ron.
Yes, it is. And
were you waiting for that? Were you waiting for that, weren't you?
Yeah.
Beat you to the. I don't like using Star Wars. Too many baseball commentators have to throw in those movies, don't they? Here's the 0-1 pitch. Boy, a lunging swing again. Ball rolls out past the right side of the plate. Got off the glove a little bit there of Kestner. Fumbled it just a bit, and enough for the runner to advance to third, and that will be Hagstrom, who started off with a single and has advanced to second and third now, and knocking at the door with 2 down. Definitely did not want to see a single in this position here for Darwin, who's facing an 0-2 count, though. Parrish would love to shut him down here with the runner at third.
Exactly. They would like to stop this runner from scoring.
Oh, fastball well outside and low. Bounces off the ground and rolls to the backstop. Just as I get that stuff out of my mouth, a run does score as the pitch was well outside and low out of the grasp of Kestner, the catcher, and that will score the first run for Farmington.
That is not the way you want to do it, but, for the Scorpions, any way you can get that score to go in, you want that to happen, especially since they've only scored 5 this season so far.
They were outscored 8-5 through 2 games. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Another outside one. This a little bit higher for the catch there behind the plate by Kestner. Evens up the count at 2-2 on the ball. Only 1 run has come across. Farmington up 1-0 here in the top of the second. Slated for 7. Here's the windup in the throw. Knuckler coming off the handle to the middle of the backstop. That'll be another foul, keeping the batter alive.
Just barely.
That's still Dylan Darwin out there, the second baseman. He had been here for quite a few pitches now. Aided by an error, or a fielding error. Hard shot over to third on the ground. Picked up by Gonzalez. Fired across the field. A sizzler as he connects with Alvarado at first off the 5-3. So he picked up a couple of those grounders there. Snapping one there from Darwin that time. Back-to-back actually for Oliver. Or actually back-to-back for our third baseman Gonzalez. picking up from Oliver and Darwin on those shots to third. Well, the Hobbs Eagles on that round do give up one hit. One run comes across due to a wild pitch outside. And Farmington with the first score of the game, 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. You're listening live to Hobbs Eagle Baseball, live at Sportsman's Park. Back in 30. Back live at Sportsman's Park. Ty Friend, Ron Gunner with you tonight as your Hobbs Eagles trail 1-0, bottom of the second, as Farmington scored on an error, a wild throw outside. And unfortunately, that's their only run of the ball game. The Eagles going to be up now at the plate to try to match or take the lead here, bottom of the second. Cole Kestner, the catcher, number 21, as he steps up, batting 0-0-0 right now. He's had 2 at-bats so far, takes the first fastball for the strike. So he's trying to get himself in the offensive column here with some contact on the ball. Or do they call that a ball there, I guess? The umpire was screaming strike on that one. Curve it inside. It'll be fouled out towards the JV field on the right. Out of play. Even up the count at 1-1. Kestner is 6th in the order for the Eagles. Montez, Armendariz, and Camacho rounding out the order for Hobbs for their first through 9 batters. Curve and way low as it drops down and kind of extending his bat across the plate and trying to tap it out was Kestner, but could not make the contact he wanted. Now facing a 1-2 count.
It looked like one of those swings he knew halfway through that it wasn't going to connect, but he still had to swing it.
Already committed on that one. Curveball inside. This one he's going to take a yank out towards center field. He'll keep it on the ground as well. Kneeling down to make the pickup there is Hagstrom. He's the guy that had a single in the last part of this inning. So first hit of the ball game for the Hobbs Eagles with Kestner. That's a way to get it going here. That was his first hit of the season and first hit for the Eagles here in the opener of the Black and Gold Slugfest. First night of a 3-day banger for the Eagles. They have a game tomorrow night at 7:30 and 12:30 on Saturday. Ron will get you those games on the internet. Hobbs will bring in now Christian Montez, the second baseman. Montez batting .500, best on the team with 4 hits. 3 runs have scored from him. He had a double and an RBI. So he's got the big bat, not a big kid in terms of height, but he's definitely got some muscle on those swings. Quick throw over to first by Edmiston. Getting back in time on the slide was Kestner at first. Or do we have a courtesy runner out there? I think we did, yeah. Kestner's the catcher. He's not going to be running the bases. Double check who we got there at first. Fastball outside. They're going to throw it down to first, though. As that time trying to get the Eagles flat-footed, as Long chucked it over to first. As Buchno able to come up with it, and Eagles get the runner back in time, Kestner, or whoever's running for him right now. They got those crazy, hard-to-read outlines for the Hobbs Eagle numbers here, so it's going to take a while to see those ghost numbers. Edmiston take a little bit more time now on the pitch. Goes the fastball low for ball 2. Good eye there for Montez. Montez 7 in the order. A couple of outfielders coming in next for the Eagles, Armendariz and Camacho.
Hey, let's go 6. Be a hitter, kick.
Lead off at first for the Eagles. Down 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. Edmiston watches that one outside for ball 3. Getting well ahead of the count now is Montez. Tying run at first for the Eagles. Coaches love these tournaments where you can kind of get one game a day and get some time to rest in between, especially 2 night games like we're having here Thursday and Friday.
Exactly.
Fastball, this one coming down the pike for the strike. Kind of a wait-and-see type of look there for Montez. Coach Boyle giving him some signals after that one. Of course, with a .500 batting average, sounds like Montez knows what he's doing out there.
Yep, I definitely believe that as well.
Got that left pant leg pulled up quite high on the on top of his left boot there. Throw back to first from Edmiston, not in time. Sliding in as Kestner's courtesy runner there.
I didn't like the call on that one, so just threw it to first, see if we can get the easy out. Did not happen.
3 balls and 1 strike now as Edmiston continues to face Montez. Go with the fastball. Down the middle again for strike 2. We got a full count now here at Sportsman's Park. Coach Boyle just says keep the ball in play here. Don't bloop it towards second. No chance for a double play there to finish up the inning. Well, actually, just 2 outs, not 3.
Right.
Fastball, stolen base opportunity here for the Eagles. A slide face first into the second bag is converted. So Hobbs got a runner at second. They called that a 3rd strike there as well. That will sit down, unfortunately, Montez. That's the 2nd K of the game for the Eagles and the pitching of Eli Edmiston. Of course, the first game of the season we're covering, Ron. Forgot my binoculars, so.
I know, so did I. As soon as I got here, I was like, yep, forgot the binoculars.
We don't need those at Tasker, do we?
No, we do not.
Ball is smaller here and the field is wider, but forgot the binoculars.
Yeah, I know, and sometimes just when you're trying to see something, the net just takes all the focus out of it.
Write that down on the to-do list for you tomorrow night.
Oh, I already have, yeah.
Here comes Edmiston in the windup, the fastball. Barely misses outside corner for the ball. So Hobbs Eagles converting their 3rd stolen base. Actually, the 4th stolen base of the season. They had one earlier by Gerardo Gonzalez. They had 2 coming into this game. Here's the windup and the throw from Edmiston. Curve it inside and moving his elbow out of the way. Saul Armendariz, the left fielder. Saul comes into this contest batting .143. He's got 1 hit, which was a double, and a run scored as well for him. 2-0 count. Runner at second. Edmiston takes a peek back at the runner. Fires the fastball, high one, swing and a miss there for Armendariz. He definitely wanted to taste that one to go over the fence.
Yep. He had a lot of power behind that one, but got nothing but air on it. So, unfortunately, maybe he can connect on this next swing.
Of course, a double would score a run here for the Eagles to tie it up. Here comes the pitch from Edmiston. Curveball hits him in the middle of the back. That's going to send Armendariz hit by pitch. As he'll take a gallop up to first base. And now the Eagles with runners at first and second. Coach King now is moving his infield and outfield around a little bit as he knows he's coming up for the Eagles. Juan Camacho, the center fielder. Camacho comes in batting .286. A couple of hits. And one of those was an RBI single. He's been at bat 7 times into this game. This is number 8 for him. And Hobbs is only 1 out. Open bag right now is third, where Coach Boyle is making sure his runners are watching carefully. Curve it inside and putting a lot of mustard behind the swing there was Camacho, and didn't get the contact he wanted there and spun out of it backwards to the left.
Yep, just lost the ball, or at least the eye contact on the ball. Wasn't able to connect with it.
Eagles with some big leadoffs at first and second. Fastball. Hard shot outside barely for ball 2, or make it 1. Evens up the count at 1-1. Hobbs Eagles, of course, will have a road trip next week. Believe it's down to, Las Cruces, I think Centennial, isn't it?
It is. It's going to be another tournament.
Here comes a 1-1 from Edmiston. High pitch, and then they're going to try to throw it to first and get the runners having to go forward here. We got a rundown going between second and third. Hobbs' first base runner is going to head back to first. The runners get back in time. Nope, they call the out. Tag out at second. Tag on the helmet there for the Eagles. I think Coach Boyle might be questioning the call here. They had a rundown going on between second and third, and our first base runner, which was Saul Armendariz, smartly got back to first, and he was already to the way to second. Or actually, maybe was there interference called? Nope, they're going to send the one runner back for the Eagles, who was the courtesy runner for Hobbs. He was in for Kestner.
Well, the problem was the first base, the runner was going to second. Second wasn't running at all, and when he started running, it was a little too late. They already were going over to the third. It would have been an easy out.
Yeah, Long did a great throw to first. Curveball inside, ricochets off Delgado at third, off his shoulder, and that hard shot that time as he doesn't have any chest protection up there, and he put that shoulder right in front of the ball, and you can hear the wallop on that one. I think that's got to be a single. I mean, it's a pretty hard shot. Not much else he could have done about that one.
Exactly. He did stop the ball. He didn't let it advance. Just wasn't able to handle it after that. But, yeah, you're right. At least he did at least stop the runners from advancing another base.
Problem with this is, Ron, all this activity the Eagles have had right now on the bases, they haven't scored yet in this inning, and they got runners at first and second with 2 down, and that open bag at third again.
True.
Got to take advantage and try to at least tie the ball game. Start of the order for the Eagles, Gerardo Gonzalez. He got on due to an error to start the game, and then a stolen base after that, the one of 2 stolen bases in this contest. Runners at first and second with 2 down. Hobbs down 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. Edmiston back look at second. Wind up and the throw. Fastball, swing and a miss for Gonzalez. He definitely wants to advance those runners. I really don't need that a real hard shot. I mean, down in that left field there, a little bit of a gap between second and third. Just plop it down out in the grass, green area out there.
Yep.
Or I should say field turf, not grass, but looks like grass.
Yeah, find the gap in a little bit. Just get it beyond the infield.
1-1 pitch, curving inside, a high shot out towards left. A lot of air underneath this one. And the shortstop calls it off and catches it in the basket of his glove, backpedaling, kind of going towards the third baseline, not quite over there, and makes the catch. That was Pope coming up with that one, and the Eagles were tasting some runs on that, but unfortunately aired up a little bit too long out shallow left. So the Hobbs Eagles in that run in the bottom of the second did get 1 hit, or make it 2 hits, left 2 on base, almost getting something to come across, but unfortunately could not convert. No scores, and we go to the top of the third. Farmington holding on to the 1-0 lead, but the Eagles were challenging. Back on defense here in just 60 seconds.
Welcome back as the action is just about to get started. Once again, it is 1-0 Farmington up, top of the third, and here's the call from Ty Friend.
We are slated for 7 here. First game of the 3-game banger as the Eagles playing in the Black and Gold Slugfest at Sportsman's Park. Parrish still on the mound, the sophomore pitcher for the Eagles, throws a fastball to get it going. As the pitch coming across against Matamoros, he's 9th in the order for Farmington, the DH. Takes the first pitch, a strike, 0-1. Curveball, and hits him in the back. So both teams have had one player hit in the back so far. Hit by a pitch, Matamoros will take a run to first. Freebie there issued by Parrish. First runner of the third inning. And, of course, the Eagles knocking at the door in the bottom of the second, Ron. 2 runners on, and I was kind of concerned about that. A lot of activity to get those runners on, and then kind of got a lull there at the end.
Well, unfortunately, another one of those base running errors for Hobbs. At first base, tried to go to second, tried to steal it. Second wasn't aware of this. By the time it was too late. He tried to run to third, and they were covering third almost. So he had to run back to second, and first had to get back as well, and ended up tagging it second.
Yeah, they had Darwin there, the second baseman, just took the ball and just clunked it on the top of his helmet there, so I'm sure he had a few stars after that play. Parrish looks at first, checking the runner there. That is Matamoros, who was hit by a ball in the middle of the back. Top of the order, Joe Darnell now takes the fastball for the strike down the middle. Darnell ground out to short, back to start the game in the first inning. So far, Farmington has had 4 groundouts, 3 of those coming in the second inning in succession. Second, third, and fourth at bats in that inning. Curveball, swing and a miss for Darnell. Got way spread out on his legs that time and just did not have the ump he needed to make contact. He looks over to Coach King there at third base, the coaching box, to give him some signals here. And what percent of the time are those signals just fake, and are they really trying to, what are you trying to tell one base runner out there with all those signals? You know how that goes.
Exactly. It's pretty much already pre-designated anyway.
I don't think that many mosquitoes out there he's dealing with either. Curveball outside, going to be foul, or not fouled, but ball call there for a 2-2 count. So Farmington trying to extend their 1-0 lead here in the top of the third. They've converted on 2 hits so far, a single and 2 stolen bases for Delgado, and a single and a run score for Hagstrom for the lead in this game. Here comes a 2-2 pitch from Parrish. Fastball gets past Kestner. That's about the third time that's happened. One he corralled, but this time the second one scored a run, and he's able to chase it to the backstop, but the runner does advance. And that's been kind of an issue, too, advancing runners for Farmington in this game so far. Exactly.
One of those situations where, just the catcher, no matter what happens, loses sight of the ball or just loses contact with the glove, and as unfortunately it goes into the backstop.
So Darnell takes an outside pitch. He's going to let it go out there and gets the walk. That will be the first walk of the ball game for Farmington. Runners at first and second, kind of the same situation the Eagles were offensively back in the second. But they have no outs to worry about at this point, the Scorpions.
Exactly. A lot more cushion for Farmington to get a little bit more of a lead on this game. But, Luke's still out there, so he can still corral it in and be able to go to this inning with no damage.
Sebastian Delgado showing a bunt look here. Pitch a little bit outside for ball 1. Delgado again with a single and a couple of stolen bases, so he definitely can help a scoring cause for Farmington with runners at first and second. He is second in the order for the Scorpions. Long and Pope at 3 and 4. Parrish quickly returns with a pitch. Fastball off the tip of the bat. I think Delgado got a piece of that one as he
did.
Lances it over there to his dugout on the right side, first base line.
Another bunt attempt.
Definitely want to get those bases loaded if he can dump that where he wants to, either up that first base line or a slow dribbler between him and the mound.
Either get him in second and third. That'd be scoring position for both of them, and all you have to do is just get a nice little blooper outfield or just a single up the middle.
Curveball high, and there's going to be a stolen base attempt. Slide to third, and they're going to say safe.
Again?
The throw over there to third was connected to Gonzalez, and he looked like he just brushed the elbow of the runner coming across, or diving, I should say, to third base. And the Hobbs fans are yelling out again, wanting to know that other call. Looked like we had a tag out at third, and that one was called safe as well. So runners at first and third now. Again, still showing that bunt is Delgado, but didn't need to that time with the throw coming over there to third. But that's going to put Montemaras at third on the stolen base. They picked up, but that's their 4th stolen base of this ball game now. And let's put them in scoring position at third with no outs. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Second time somebody's been on third base. Maybe this time around they can make it go in just like did last time.
But last time there was 2 outs, and that wild pitch scored the run.
True.
Fastball inside, lunging out towards second. It's a shallow shot. It'll take a bounce. Holding on it for second was Camacho. I don't know what he put on the brakes for. Kind of adjusting to see what the ball was going to do. It was going to keep some air under it or not. And unfortunately, let it drop once, and that's enough for the runner to come across for the score. Farmington now up 2-0 with the run here in the top of the third.
Yeah, nice little gap hit in the gap, and just in front of the center fielder. Could not get to it in time, apparently, and it is going to cost another run for Hobbs.
RBI single for Delgado. That's his second hit. He's 2 for 2 on the plate so far tonight, with an RBI and 2 stolen bases, and a timeout called as Coach Bowman, the pitching coach for the Eagles, going to bring the infield in and talk to Parrish, trying to get him back in this ball game. But still not a lot of bleeding at this point, just 2-0, Ron.
Exactly. There's still plenty of game left, but you definitely don't want to give your opponent any more opportunities than they are already going to have. They still have about 6 more innings that they can play with, or 5 at the very least, depending on how they do it. But, yeah, you definitely want to get out there and make sure that Luke is still feeling his oats, still feeling good, and be able to get it over the plate. He hasn't thrown a strike here recently, so I think there's a little concern about that.
We mentioned in the pregame the 2 blowouts the Eagles have had to face this season, 12-1 to Los Lunas and Belen 11-2. Both were pretty much in the driver's seat for their opponent early in the game. And by the third inning, both teams are up 8-1 on the Eagles. We haven't got to that point yet, just 2-0, but hopefully they can stop what's going on here. Runners at first and second. Curveball inside, a yank out to left center. He's going to take a roll to the wall past the warning track there. Going to be at least a double. They're going to get 1 run to score, though. They're going to hold up Delgado at third. So RBI single, RBI double, I should say, but only 1 run scores on that. I thought at least 2 would come across, and that'd give them more of a cushion.
Yeah, that was just playing it safe. It was already at the cutoff man, and he was at third base. It would have been very close if he would have continued. It probably would have been an out at home base, but on the other hand, we've thought it'd be a couple of outs at third base with those stolen bases, so it's hard to say.
Santiago Long getting the RBI double on that one, scoring a run, and coming across was Darnell. And they have a courtesy runner stepping out there now. Number 11, I'm going to have to double check who we got him on the roster there. That's Nate Sewell. Curve it inside, a golf swing, a high one, but it's going to go foul towards the right side. A good attempt,
so
chasing out there full speed for the Eagles was Martinez, and boy, putting his body on the line, jumping up with the Superman cape, trying to dive towards that foul field there, foul fence on the right side, past the Farmington dugout. I didn't think he even had a chance even to come close to that ball, but he put on the afterburners to get out there, right side. Almost had a chance to catch that one across his body.
Exactly. Looked pretty darn close, but just could not get underneath it. But it was a really nice attempt.
Jordan Pope, he's the cleanup man. Curve inside. This is going to keep on the ground out to center field. That might be it for Parrish. Lots of runs are starting to come across. They're going to send it home. And runner's going to advance to second after that single. RBI single converted for Pope. So another run comes across. That's Delgado scoring. So they've had a couple of runs put through in this inning, 3 to be exact. 4-0 now. And I was talking about the early woes of the Eagles, giving up big leads through 3 innings. And right now we're up to 4.
Exactly. And this is the best output they've had since the last game for the Farmington Scorpions against Goddard. They had a 5-4 loss, but still 4 runs so far. That's their best output of the season.
Still no outs, too. Curve it on the handle, and it goes to the middle of the backstop for Danny Hagstrom. Hagstrom had a single back to start the second inning and did score the first run of the game for Farmington. They're up 4-0 here. 5 hits in the books at this point for the Scorpions on a long road trip here to Hobbs tonight. Parrish will take a look back at second. He's got runners on second and third. Fastball outside. Nice save by Kestner, sliding over there and had to jump up and make sure that ball didn't get past him. Definitely kept it from going wild. That would have definitely scored a run, too, from third, Ron.
Unfortunately, yeah, you're right about that. And just need to stop the bleeding right now. 4 runs is enough, and Hobbs can still get into this, but they need to get out of this inning first.
Parrish ready to rethrow here as he does the fastball outside again, and that's driving Kestner to the right. Sometimes you do that to try to mess with the runners' heads a little bit, but his head is completely turned up that first baseline, so he's having just to get his body over there to stop it from getting past him.
And Hagstrom is not chasing any of these so far, so Lance needs to start, just getting it down the middle and getting those strike calls.
Here's the 2-1 count, fastball, swiped outside for ball 3. You could see Kestner trying to get that glove over there to try to catch the eye of the umpire, but he's not going to say it was going to clip that outside corner. So 3-1, well ahead of the count now, as you mentioned, Hagstrom. He had a single and a run scored earlier. Fastball, late swing, but that's going to go out towards the JV field, foul right. Out of play completely that time. A lot of wallop on that swing, but hopefully he doesn't straighten it out this time.
Yeah, full count, though, and that's going to help Lance, but Parrish the thought that he can get another, or at least the first out of this inning.
Runners at second and third for the Scorpions. Up 4-0 here in the top of the third. We are almost halfway through this 7-inning contest, the finale of the night. Parrish checks back at second, turns and fires a curveball, and he hits the bottom part of the back there of Hagstrom for the hit by pitch. That's going to send him to first base on a freebie.
Thought that was a ball, but either way, yeah, it advances the runner.
Runners are all 3 bases now with no outs for the Eagles. A lefty's going to step in to make it even worse. The Eagles have to adjust on that. Wyatt Bugnell, he did ground out back to Parrish back in the second inning for the first out. But he doesn't have to worry about any outs on this one. Curveball inside, takes a big drop in the last second to inside for the umpire to like. And a time is called after that as Kestner wants to go out and talk to Parrish at the mound. And also the batter, Bugnell, going to go talk to Coach King on that third base line, taking advantage of this quick breather. Of course, we mentioned the Hobbs Lady Eagles, number 1 seed in the state basketball tournament. Playoff game tomorrow against Las Cruces. 5:45 pregame. First pitch. Let's try the jump ball at 6 o'clock.
Yep, tip off at 6, yep.
And that will be first round of the playoffs. HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, the Eagle 100.5 on our sister radio station.
And that's always one of those games you don't want to be too late because otherwise you're going to see the third and fourth quarters, and those go quick.
Curveball inside. It looked like it might have hit the ankle there of Boogdahl, but maybe they just said he just put his leg in the way, so they're not going to call that hit by a pitch back-to-back. And hopefully that basketball game's over before the baseball game. They can come out here or listen to you on the internet tomorrow.
Exactly.
Fastball down the middle, and holding on it there, the lefty Boogdahl takes a strike from Parrish. Parrish is starting to recycle pretty quickly there on the mound, getting ready for the next pitch. That might be a little strategy here to get them off a little bit there at the plate. Fastball comes low and outside for ball 3. 3-1 count now as Parrish facing Boogdahl. 6th in the order. There are no hits at 6, 7, 8, or 9 for Farmington. Curveball inside, late swing for Boogdahl, and he'll take the strike on that one. Now the full count. Runners on all 3 bases, no outs here for Farmington. Trying to add on to a 4-0 lead here after 5 hits. Hobbs had 1 hit up to this point. Curveball inside off the handle, blooper between first and second, and making the catch for the Eagles. Montez, the second baseman, had to shift well towards first to make the catch. It's just a little blooper. He's already was shifted over a little bit there, but makes the catch.
Indeed, and that is our first out of the 3rd inning. Parrish is already at 51 pitches so far. His count is getting a little higher than he thought it would be after the first 2 innings, but hopefully he can get out of this. He still has the bases loaded, though.
Eagles got to play some smart infield thinking here with runners on all 3 bases. Fastball, hard shot there down the pike to J.J. Oliver. Puts a lot of muscle behind the swing, but no contact on the baseball. He ground out to 3rd. Of course, Gonzalez getting a lot of action back in that 2nd inning. Getting a couple of good throws there to first for the outs. Curveball down the pike, and it comes across at the last second for the strike. Holding on it was Oliver. 0-1 count with just 1 out. He's 7th in the order. Darwin and Montemoros to finish it up for Farmington. Fastball high, swing and a miss for Oliver, and that will sit him down. Went down on 3 pitches there, and that is the 2nd K issued by Parrish. Luke Parrish, the sophomore pitcher for the Eagles. 2 down now for Hobbs. Any bases and out, anywhere close to those bases, a stomp, and hopefully no runs will come across. Darwin's up now, second baseman who ground out to 3rd. Back in the 2nd inning, the last 2 outs were ground out to 3rds to Gonzalez. Takes the first pitch a little low for ball 1. Still 4-0 here in the top of the 3rd. Parrish takes a little bit more time on the delivery here. Fastball check swing. Did he go around on that one? Yes, he did. So they got the strike on that one on Darwin. Evens up the count at 1-1.
That looked like a strike either way, whether he swung it or not. So
every pitch critical with the bases loaded here. The 1-1 pitch coming. Fastball low. Crouching down was Kestner to keep it right where he wanted it on the right side of the plate there. Call it a ball on low one there. 2-1. Big leadoffs at all 3 bases, of course, with the 1 out away from shutdown. Curveball high, and it's ball 3. Almost took off the chin there of Darwin.
It didn't drop as fast as Luke wanted it to, but nevertheless didn't get to the catcher.
Darwin was the one that tagged the runner out for the Eagles by tapping that ball in the helmet. Curveball off the end of the bat and foul right to the JV field.
Ball on the field.
I was kind of surprised there's no teams out practicing tonight after usually all these teams get 1 game a day, but sometimes that's not enough for the coaches. They want to keep their kids warm as much as possible. Only ball game in the park here, no Little League or anything else to speak of, or softball for that matter. Here's the full count pitch coming. Runners are going, curve it inside, a golf swing. Nice lunge by our 3rd baseman Gonzalez. Tries to touch the 3rd bag. Lost the ball as he hit the ground flat on his stomach. And Coach Boyle's out to question the call, have the umps to talk about it. The plate umpire goes in and calls it an out. Nice lunge there for the 3rd baseman Gonzalez to stretch out there, get a grab on the hard shot up the 3rd base line, and then just flatten his body out and tag the base with his glove hand.
Right.
Looked like he had it for a second. When he hit the turf on his stomach flat, ball kind of came out a little few seconds after that. Coach Boyle came out and questioned it, and the home plate umpire overruled the drop ball call there. So Hobbs dodging a bullet on that last play. Nice play for Gonzalez, putting his body on the line to save another run to come across. But a little bit of damage done in that top of the 3rd as Farmington does get some conversion going on there. As they got, how many hits total? It was 3 hits, and they scored 3 runs on top of that. They do leave the bases loaded, though. as we go to the bottom of the third. Your Hobbs Eagles need to get back in this one, down 4-0 to Farmington. Come back with us in 60 seconds on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page.
Welcome back to the action. It is bottom of the third, and Hobbs has a hole to dig out of. 4-0. That was a long top of the third to get into, but right now we're getting to the bottom of the third, and here's the call with Ty Friend.
4-0 score, as you mentioned. 1 run in the second, 3 in the third for Farmington. Hobbs Eagles lefties up for Hobbs, Josiah Martinez. Curveball inside, put up by Edmiston. That's going to go out towards the parking lot on the left side, and some windshield action going to be happening there probably. Josiah Martinez struck out. The only first of the 2 Ks of the game for the pitching of Eli Edmiston. Martinez, second in the order, takes a fastball low, swing and a miss for strike 2 now. First a foul, second a swing and a miss. Hobbs doesn't have any hits until you go all the way down to 6th in the order. They're at second right now after that single coming from Kestner. Fastball hits outside for ball 1. Count to 1-2 now for Martinez, and definitely want to see some ignition here of the Hobbs Eagle batting.
Yeah, we'd like to see some bats get warm, but if not get hot and cause some problems for that defense of Farmington.
1-2 fastball off the edge of the bat, again towards the left side. Actually hits the ticket area out here, the ticket building where the restrooms are. If you know what the park looks like here at Sportsman, off the left side. Stand alive, the lefty Martinez. The 4-0 deficit. Here comes the pitch from Edmiston. Curve it inside, a high one, swing and a miss. That's Martinez's third strike. So he's got 2 Ks so far. Hobbs has been struck out 3 times now. And now Jason Fuentes, he's third in the order for the Eagles. He ground out over to third to Delgado. That was back in the first inning. Eagles starting to approach second time through their batting order here. 1 down, though. Edmiston goes to the fastball. Low and outside for ball 1.
Good start, good start. Let's see what he can do with this one.
Quick reload here for Edmiston. Turns and fires. Fastball inside for ball 2. Good eye there for Fuentes. Of course, the one win for the Eagles this season beat Cleveland 5-3. They've been getting some good efforts against the Storm over the last couple of seasons. Curveball inside, giving a little shave there to Fuentes. Had to duck that head backward to the left. Stay away from that pitch with a 3-0 count now, as he's got a couple of pitches he can burn here, Ron.
Well, that's good news if you're talking about Cleveland, because they are tomorrow's opponent.
Curveball low and inside, ball 4. That will send Fuentes to first base on a freebie. Second walk issued by Edmiston, and now a runner at first. So Hobbs Eagles definitely like to take advantage and try to get back in this ball game. Down 4-0 here. 5-1 hit count in favor of Farmington at this point. Big man Xavier Alvarado, the lefty, steps up. He had a walk back in the second inning, so he'd at least like to get that at the minimum, if not a hit for the Eagles. Fastball outside for ball 1. Good eye there for Alvarado as he takes a look over to Coach Boyle.
Well, that's the fifth ball issued in a row.
Emerson takes a look at the ground before he turns and fires the fastball off the end of the bat, into the short gap, out to left field, takes a roll. Poked it right out to the left of the shortstop, Pope that time. And that'll be a single for Alvarado. That'll be the Eagles' third hit. A single for Alvarado, a single for Kestner, and a single for Camacho. And that will bring up Kenyon Johnson, the DH. He ground to the short last time, so Pope better be on notice. Hobbs would like to poke that out again here, try to advance the runner. With runners now at first and second, Eagles getting on due to a walk for Fuentes and a single for Alvarado. Way to get back in the ball game by getting those runners on.
Definitely.
Emerson with the fastball coming off the bottom edge of the bat there. Going to go out to the left field on the JV side. Sails out of play. Again, we are slated for 7 in this one here. We are at the bottom of the third. 4-0 Farmington. Waggles to the bat here for Johnson. A little bit more of a delay this time for Edmiston. His fastball outside and shaving over to the right there was Long, the catcher, to save that one from going wild. Definitely would have got the Eagles at least to third on the advance there if that would have got through. Here's the windup, and then he steps off the rubber. Half-hearted fake there with the throw to second. He decides to hold on to the baseball that time, did Edmiston, and didn't have to have much of a sprint to get back there for Fuentes. Back to second for the Eagles. 1 ball and a strike with 1 out. The windup of the throw, fastball high for ball 2.
And I've noticed that most pitches, especially if they got somebody behind them, a runner, they tend to throw it high and see if they're going to get the runner to bait or get the bait and throw it out at third.
Yeah, they got an open bag right now at third. Edmondson's going to challenge the runners and turns and fires. A little late swing that time off the middle of the bat there for Johnson. That's going to sail back over to the JV side, and done that a couple times to the right off the foul balls. Of course, Johnson, a football player for Hobbs Eagles squad, and definitely has one of the bigger bodies for Hobbs out there with some power behind it. 2 balls and 2 strikes as Edmondson faces Johnson, calls the time, and steps out of the box.
He's definitely wanting to get ready for that next pitch and see if he can knock it out somewhere.
Definitely happy the winds have died down a little bit tonight. We had some real heavy stuff this morning. Not as bad throughout the afternoon, though. Here's the 2-2. Curve it inside. Golf swing. It'll be a blooper out towards third. Turning a fire. Shot to first. It gets around the first baseman as Delgado threw it low to Bogle. And it rolls out to right field, out of bounds. But that's going to get the runner to score for the Eagles. As the man coming across for Hobbs is Alvarado for their first score. And actually, Fuentes got through first, I should say. So 2 runs, Fuentes and Alvarado, to get 2 on the board for the Eagles. And they're now only half down from Farmington, 4-2.
Exactly. That was a nice RBI double, or would have been anyway. But I think it's more of an error on that one. Just a throwing error. But either way, got to second base. Johnson did, even though it looked like it was going to be very close, a very close throw to first base. And luckily it went over. Otherwise, it could have been an out.
So runner at second, Johnson, thanks to the errant throw coming from third. Fastball coming to Kestner. Cole Kestner kind of lost his balance there and didn't keep the spikes down on the field turf that time, and picks up the swing and a miss. He did have a single. That was the first hit of the ball game for the Eagles to start the second, and a stolen base along with that. Actually, his courtesy runner got the stolen base. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Curve it inside, hard yank out towards left center. It's going back towards the wall, close to the wall, and over the shoulder catch, pulled down. Center fielder got over there to make the catch, Hegstrom. Boy, he was back against the wall that time, just barely on top of the shoulder to make the catch. And almost was going to be bye-bye with a couple more runs scored for the Eagles. That would have at least tied it. Or actually, probably would have taken a lead on that one.
Exactly. Either way, though, it was caught at the warning track, and unfortunately for Hobbs, just didn't have enough carry, enough muster to be able to get it over the wall for a home run.
And keeping the runner at bay, too, as the throw coming into the shortstop to slow the Eagles up. Pope came up to help out on that one. So still 4-2 with 2 down, and that brings in Christian Montez. Takes a curve inside, a little late swing, and flicks it out to his teammate there in the batting circle warming up. That was Armendariz. But he's able to get the ricochet off of that one.
And just for the record, that would have been a tie game because it would have been 2 runs scoring in.
All for naught, though, with the catch made in left center.
Exactly. He had to ruin the party there for it.
Edmondson with the windup and the throw on the 0-1. Fastball goes down low and outside for the ball. Montez struck out back in the second inning. The Eagles have had 3 Ks in this game offensively so far. But, of course, that one single and a walk earlier in this bottom of the third. Curveball floats low and outside for ball 2. Good eye there for Montez. 2-1 count for him with 2 down. Canyon Johnson, big leadoff now at second after getting on due to a throwing error from third base to first. Watching him for a second, Edmonston, then curve it inside, and a blooper high in the air, going to go out towards the batting cages on the Farmington side, right field, foul territory, out of play.
Yep, and off the field, too. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to catch it.
2-2 count now for Montez. He's 7th in the order. Armendariz and Camacho both checking in, both getting a chance to get on base. Hit by a pitch was Armendariz, and Camacho had a single last time around in the 3rd inning. Curveball up about helmet high there for Montez. As it kind of floats down at the last second. Called the strikeout that one, didn't they?
No, if it would have been, that would have been 3.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
so,
full count now. Edmiston turns and looks at second, fires a fastball high. That will be a good situation for Montez. Just waits on it and picks up the walk. Hobbs has been on base due to walks 3 times in this game. Runners at first and second. Open bag is 3rd at this point. Saul Armendariz was hit by the pitch in the back in the 2nd inning. So he did get on base. Force out at 3rd, so Hobbs definitely want to keep the ball away from there. Time called, and looks like one of the coaches for going to head out there from Farmington. We'll take a quick 30-second break here in the bottom of the 3rd. It's 4-2 Farmington. Hobbs back at the plate here in half a minute.
All right, pitch and change is happening right now for Farmington as we are 4-2, bottom of the 3rd, and there is 2 outs, looks like, for Hobbs. 1 more, and they're done for this one. But they do have the player of the game from last game from Los Lunas. Saul Armendariz is going to be up to bat, and hopefully he can make some damage too as we have 1st and 2nd covered. Don't have anybody on 3rd, and you know what? Let's go ahead and get the call from Ty Friend.
Yep, Farmington does get the pull on Edmiston. As the Hobbs Eagles are starting to threaten again, only down 4-2 after being down 4-0 through 2 innings at least as they get themselves back in this contest. Hobbs has had a total of 3 hits so far, all coming on singles. Throwing error got another runner on in Canyon Johnson, and runners at 1st and 2nd.
Already getting a meeting of the minds.
Yep, now they're going to send the catcher out there to talk to the new relief pitcher out on the field. That's Declan Madison is the pitcher now. So he has a little conference with Long, the catcher.
Just want to make sure that they were on the same page. They got plenty at stake, or a lot that's going on right now. 1 hit, and they could be a tied game.
Boy, Coach Boyle was a lot more patient with Parrish there. Kept him in for a lot longer. They pulled this Edmiston kid out pretty quick and brought in Madison. Fastball coming down the middle, a little low for ball 1. And Eagles got runners at 1st and 2nd. Montez with a walk and Canyon Johnson at 2nd. He got on due to an error. Fastball, late swing, golf swing out towards right field, a little shallow towards the first base line. It's a misadjustment by Oliver. That's going to take a roll up the first base line on the air, and that will bring a runner home for the Eagles, and another runner advancing to 3rd.
So
or did 2 come across? 2 did.
2 did, yes. 2 came across.
Canyon Johnson was the last guy to get across there, and that was a misjudge out there by Oliver. He tried to one-hand it near the first baseline, about midway between first base and right field, and just misadjusted and paid the price on that one.
Exactly. Didn't hit the glove right.
That was Saul Armendariz on that one.
Looks like Saul's all the way to 3rd.
Yeah, a lot of time up that first base line with the run scored. That was Johnson scoring and Montez, and now 4-4 is your score. Already tied up here after a relief pitcher just barely gets on. And that first pitch fastball low for the ball to Camacho. 9th in the order for the Eagles, 2nd time through the batting lineup here. Time called, and once again, there goes Long out to talk to his pitcher. Might be having some communication problems with a new relief in there right now. Hobbs knocking at the door again, could take a lead here as Armendariz just waiting a chance to come across that home plate to go up 5-4.
One of the nice things about baseball is you can always swing. It just takes a couple of swings of the bat, or maybe not even that, and the complex of the game just changes. Complexion.
Fastball, a little low for ball 1. 2 down, though, for the Eagles. Open bags at first and second. Madison on the mound, the relief pitcher, curving inside, and also losing his footing was Camacho. And he thought the ball was coming towards his ankle, so he did a swizzle stick move there and almost fell backwards on a trip, but caught his balance as he came out of the box. 2 balls and no strikes now for Camacho. So head of the count now on Madison. Fastball, he knew he was coming back with that one, right down the middle for the strike as Camacho had the stop sign up on that from Coach Boyle. Gonzalez, Martinez, and Fuentes 1, 2, and 3 in the order for the Eagles. 3rd time in the order. Due up next if we can extend this inning a little bit.
Exactly. That's what Hobbs wants to do.
Madison with the fastball at the middle of the bat, out towards that first base line again. It'll take a drop and roll to the corner. That'll be at least a double, RBI double. No, make it a triple as Coach Boyle is eager to get that runner to third, and he does.
Yes, he does.
RBI triple for Camacho. Putting on the wheels there, as that will score Armendariz, and the Eagles, just like that, all 5 of their runs, Ron, here in the bottom of the 3rd, and 2 outs still on the board.
Exactly, a nice little triple RBI, and you can't get anything better than that. You couldn't get it any better than that. It went right down the line. It was just fair. It looked always fair, and the left center fielder just could not get to it in time to do anything more with it other than allow a triple.
And those aren't just rolling down the line from the infield. I mean, they got a little bit of a bloop action. They get about between the first base and the wall there in right, and then they kind of extend towards that corner. And they still have that right fielder moved way over to the left now, leaving that big gap out there again. Hobbs going to check up now, the top of the lineup to Gonzalez.
Hit by pitch.
Yep, hit by a pitch. The second time that's happened for the Eagles tonight. Not him, not Gonzalez, but first time for him. Second time for him to be on the base. He had got on due to an error to start it off, and now a hit by a pitch. So runners now at first and third. Eagles trying to extend their lead. It's kind of weird we're saying that as we were down 4-0.
Right.
Now we're extending leads here.
Exactly. It's like I said, 1 minute you're down, the next minute you're trying to get it tied, and before you know it, you've got the lead.
Josiah Martinez, who struck out twice, he's going to try to change that here. With 2 down. Fastball, keep it outside, swing and a miss. Go over the top of it was Martinez for the strike. He's one of the lefties for the Eagles. Again, 5-4. Even hit counts now, 5 apiece for both teams. Number of errors for Farmington. Curveball coming inside, almost taking the shoulder off there of Martinez, his left shoulder, as he spun around there. Of course, remember, he is the lefty.
That was a little out of control right there. Hopefully the pitcher will be able to get back into it.
Get Madison in relief here in this inning. All 5 of the Eagles' runs coming here. 1-1 pitch. Curve it inside off the end of the bat, a 3D style right towards us here at the press box. And I had to try to get my eyes focused there. I couldn't tell there was a ball coming. Couldn't tell if that was the webbing or the ball itself. And it definitely was a 3D look.
Exactly, yeah. We don't even have the glasses on, but, the world is usually 3D.
1-2 count now as Madison continues to face. Second in the order, Josiah Martinez. Fastball low, a stolen base attempt as a bad throw going out to second. It's going to roll into center field. They'll advance the runner to third as well, and a run scored for the Eagles. That's Camacho getting the score. Or is that Camacho? Yes, Camacho getting the run scored, and Gonzalez gets the run to make it now 6-4. 2 runs coming across for Hobbs. And a bad throw coming from behind the plate out to second, gets into the center field and rolls. Enough time for the Eagles to convert on it. So Martinez stays alive at the plate with a 2-2 count. Runner at third. Curveball inside at the end of the bat. Be a bouncer out to second. Should be an easy routine play. There it is making the throw after the hop over to first to put it down. Darwin to Madison off the 4-3 for out number 3. A lot of damage done for Farmington in that bottom of the 3rd inning as the Hobbs Eagles take a 6-4 lead I mean, they had a bunch of hits going on there for the Eagles, a total of 3 in that inning. They leave a runner on base, but have a 2-run lead as we go to the top of the 4th. 6-4, Eagles over Farmington. Come back with us in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Top of the 4th inning here at Sportsman's Park. Eagles have clawed their way back into this one, leading Farmington 6-4 as the Scorpions head back to the plate. They've had 5 hits so far. And they are now at the bottom of the order. Nathaniel Matamoros, he was on base due to a hit by a pitch back in the 3rd inning. Stolen base and a run scored for Farmington. Eagles getting all 6 of the runs in that 3rd. Definitely a very stellar inning for Coach Boyle and the Eagles, leading by 2 now. Curveball comes inside, swing and a miss, the curveball, and that will be strike 3. Sitting down quickly is Matamoros. Again, it's still Luke Parrish on the mound here for the Eagles, the sophomore. 0-1 record so far this season, a 14 ERA, but definitely like to get another W in this one. Top of the order now for Farmington is Joe Darnell. He is 0 for 1, grounded short, and walked. Got a run scored and a stolen base. Fastball down the middle for the strike on that one from Parrish. Delgado, Long, and Pope, 2 through 4 in the order for Farmington, due up next. Here comes the 0-1 from Parrish. Fastball gets past Kestner. He was in the splits that time, but the ball well outside for another ball.
Well, I was going to say that Luke was looking a little stronger after that 3rd inning and was getting some nice pitches across the plate, but that one got past the catcher, and luckily, though, nobody was on base.
Farmington scored 1 run in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd. We're up 4-0, and then the Eagles erupted for 6. All their runs coming in the bottom of the 3rd. Pitch low, but it clips the bottom of the strike zone for a strike. 2-1 count now to Darnell. Fastball at the end of the bat, going over the top of the Farmington dugout on the right side. Out of play. Got to be careful the next guy at bat, Delgado. He's perfect, 2 for 2 as an RBI, stolen base, and a run scored. So third baseman knows how to hit the ball. Check swing there for Darnell on the fastball. That's going to head to the same right side foul.
Keeps him alive, though, with a 2-2 count.
Well, I guarantee you Farmington's staying the night tonight here in Hobbs.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, they're going to be playing tomorrow anyway.
Yeah,
so.
I'm just saying that road trip is a killer. They're probably the most driven team in this tournament. Curveball inside, gets some air out towards right center, and waving everybody off out there is Camacho. He did not want anybody running into him head on that time and makes the catch. Ball was starting to move kind of towards the flag there in right center. And that will be the out, number 2 for Farmington. Second in the order now, the guy just mentioned, Sebastian Delgado, with 2 singles, 2 for 2 at the plate. RBI, stolen base. Actually, 2 stolen bases on his first time around, and then a run scored on the second time. Go, curveball inside. You could hear that back on the left getting walloped hard. Hit by a pitch is Delgado. He's been on base all 3 times now that he's been up.
Actually, looks like it hit him in the arm. He's swinging it just to make sure it doesn't hurt too much. But either way, he does advance to first, and just when we thought 3 up, 3 down, and that doesn't happen for the Hobbs Eagles.
I'm sure that hurt worse than a tetanus shot.
Yeah, it does sting a little bit. And the worst thing is about a minute afterwards when you think you're fine with it, and then all of a sudden it just kind of, your nerves really start to tingle.
Just like in football, those stingers, it's not like permanent damage, but it definitely feels like it when it happens. So both teams have been hit by a pitch twice in this game. Coach Boyle is talking to the home plate umpire who's heading out to the mound for some reason.
I have a feeling he's issuing a warning out there.
Not sure what that's all about, but umpire now back behind home plate. Got a quick word for Coach Boyle was the one that initiated something there. It wasn't the Farmington coach, but so back to action here. Farmington comes back to the plate. It's going to be Santiago Long, flew to center and had an RBI double. He's 1-2 now. Fastball outside and low. Good save there for Kessner. Jumps up and sees what the runner's going to do over there. Delgado at first. He gets back in time. Both teams have 5 hits apiece. Took a while for the Eagles to even that up, including tying the score, then taking the lead now 6-4. All due to that third inning.
Yep, that did help a lot. One inning will definitely make a difference.
Yep, they doubled up the run production that third, 6 compared to 3 for Farmington. Here's the 2-0 from Parrish. Fastball down the middle, hits the knuckles there of the swinger Long and sends it back to the backstop. Count goes to 2-1. Cleveland tomorrow, 7:30 here at Sportsman's Park. Ron will be on with you at 7:15 for the pregame show. Hopefully that'll be a little bit of time enough after the Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball game at Tasker for you to catch both. Curveball inside and a hard shot high in the air towards right center. And this time it's not going to be the center fielder get the catch, Camacho, but it's Martinez that says, don't wave me off this time. I want that third out. And he makes the catch before the warning track, right center field. So out number 3, the foul out there for Santiago Long, or fly out, I should say. And we end up giving up no hits, nobody getting through on the scoring, and no runs or no base runners there as the Hobbs Eagles shutting down Farmington in the top of the 4th. We go to the bottom. Eagles up 6-4 here at Sportsman's Park. It's the Black and Gold Slam Fest going on here at Sportsman, and we'll be back in half a minute.
All right, we are at the bottom of the 4th, and Hobbs is leading right now 6-4. And they're up to bat right now to see if they can extend it, get a little insurance as well. And here's the call with Ty Friend.
At one point, Farmington up 4-0 in this game through the top of the 3rd. But then Hobbs, flurry of bats and get some air help and runners on base to get to 6-3 or 6-4 at that point. 2-run lead. And that's where we're at right now, bottom of the 4th. Slated for 7 here at Sportsman's Park. They have the relief pitcher Madison on the mound. Throws a fastball high for ball 1 as he throws against Xavier Alvarado. He's been on base twice. Walk and then hit by a pitch. Also scored a run. Or actually, no, he had a single and a run scored. 1-0 pitch, curving inside. A hard shot through the legs of the third baseman. Through on the ground that time. Delgado thought he had a scoop on that one and looked through his legs and whoops, ball got through. Major mistake there. So an error for Delgado to get on Fuentes.
But either way, it was a nice hit. Advanced him to first. He didn't get to second like we thought he might be able to, but at least he got a hit that got him on base, or an error that got him on base.
Yeah, I accidentally jumped ahead on the batting order. That was Fuentes, and now it's Alvarado who had that single and a run and a walk. So Fuentes getting on base for the second time tonight, the walk, run, and an error. And there's a bad throw to first. It's going to go all the way over towards the Farmington dugout. Quick throw there that time and sails away, and that will be another advancement there for Fuentes as he gets to second. And mistakes like that, Farmington with a 4-0 lead at one point, is starting to unravel a little bit here as we continue on this game.
And that may be the reason why they're 0-2 coming into this game.
And losing to Goddard, a lower division team, 5-4 recently.
Right.
Curveball off the end of the bat, a little late swing there. Ricochets off the left side foul backstop. And get some help there for Canyon Johnson, who's due up next. Alvarado, we mentioned, single, run, and a walk, so he's been on base twice so far for the Eagles. Runner at second is Fuentes. Madison gets himself readjusted at the rubber. Curveball inside off the end of the bat. This is going towards the big wall. Right center field, going, and it is gone. A 2-run homer converted by Xavier Alvarado. Home run, first home run of the season for the Hobbs Eagles, by the way. So exciting stuff here at Sportsman's Park, Ron.
Exactly, and we wanted to see a home run today. We want to see one for the rest of the series, but you know what, this time around, we definitely like to see that one. It went all the way across, and it had a moment where it was iffy at best, but no, we looked at the outfield, and it was definitely a home run.
And you can't blame the wind for helping it too much tonight, at least. Definitely a good shot there from Alvarado. He did have a double earlier this season, and the first home run for the team for Hobbs. And that's 2 runs, I should say, so 8-4 your score. Canyon Johnson chasing one outside and kind of pirouettes over the top of the plate that time. Or the swing and a miss.
Yeah, he definitely put a lot into that one, too. We saw that earlier in his last at-bat and before he made contact.
Ground is short on his first, and air to get on with the run after that. Flicks one right back to the pitcher, Madison, and little dart throw over to first as he connects to Bugnall for the throw out there. Canyon Johnson has to take a seat after the ground to pitcher mound. Cole Kester now the catcher. 1 for 2 at the plate. Got a single to stolen base and flew to left center last 2 at bats. Coming up for the 3rd time tonight. 8-4 lead. 2 runs have come across this inning. 6 in the 3rd. All the scoring for the Eagles. Fastball, middle of the bat, hard shot. That's going out into right on the ground. Got right past the second baseman who shifted over a little bit too much that time.
Lost the ball.
That was Darwin. It takes some time out there in the outfield, and that gets another chance for an extension run there. So a single extended to a double, but it's not going to be a double, at least in the stat numbers there, because it was a misjudge, as you mentioned, out by the warning track out in right center. So coming up with that single was Kestner. He's got 2 singles in this ball game.
And a relief runner is out there.
Trying to get a number on that if we can for you. Eagles will set up to the plate now. Christian Montez. He's on due to a walk. Struck out the first time, though, and had a run after the walk. Takes the first pitch from Madison. Inside, he takes a chunk out towards right corner of the first baseline. Nice slide over to make the catch for Oliver. Touch up and a run to third. And the Eagles have a runner at third. So that will extend a runner there for Christian Montez. Thought that thing was going to drop out there, and that right corner's been getting a lot of magnetic traction out there for the Hobbs Eagles here on that first base corner line.
It has, and that one looked pretty good too, but it just had too much air on it, and it just caught it like a can of corn for the easy out.
8th of the order, Saul Armendariz, who hit by a pitch, got on due to a single, did score a run eventually. So he's been on base twice. Nicer way the second time on the hit. Curve it inside, a knuckler, going to come back behind home plate here, foul ball. Camacho's the 9th in the order. He is perfect, 2 for 2 with a single and a RBI triple with plus a run scored. So I don't think Farmington wants to face him. They'd like to get the 3rd out before he steps up to the plate, but they'll meet him back in the next inning, though. Fastball, low and outside, is sliding over to make the stop there, was long. Eagles up 8-4, doubling up on Farmington here in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, the bat started off cold for Hobbs, but they seem to be heating up as the innings go on.
3 more innings left here in this one, at least regulation. Fastball outside, low for ball. We hit close to 9 o'clock here. Game been on for about 2 hours now. Hour and 50 minutes at this point. Kind of had some long stanzas there for both teams earlier. Madison takes some time, looks at the runner, turns and fires a fastball. A chopper out to short. Pope makes a play on it, throws across to first, and a nice extension to make the catch backhand there by Bognall at first for the final out. The ground out to short will finish up the offense for Sauer Medeiros and the Hobbs Eagles. So Hobbs does get a couple more runs on the board. Got a couple of hits, that 2 RBI homer by Xavier Alvarado and a single. Those 2 runs make it 8-4. 1 left on base. We'll be back in 30 seconds as your Hobbs Eagles doubling up on Farmington. They'll come to bat here next.
All right, we are back at the top of the 5th. It is a good game for Hobbs. 8-4, they're leading by 4 over Farmington. And we get in the inning with Ty Friend.
Eagles now in the lead when it comes to hitting, 8-5 against Farmington. And Paris still on the mound, going the distance so far for the Eagles, as he's given up 5 hits, but has tapered that off quite a bit here lately. Pope, the shortstop, on the plate right now. He is 1 for 2. Had an RBI single and a strikeout in his last 2 at-bats.
Parrish is at 72 pitches so far in this game. Still looking pretty good, although that last pitch was a little off, but maybe he can get that corralled and get back in the zone.
2 balls and no strikes. Here's the windup and the throw for Parrish. Fastball, swing and a miss, and the strike. And a lot of momentum on that wind up of the bat there for Pope. No contact, though. Count goes to 2-1. Time called, backing out is Pope. He's the one that made the last throw for the out there against the Eagles. Curveball inside, and this got some high air on it towards that right corner again. Deep back towards the wall. Over the shoulder attempt, catch, and I think the catch was made. Yep, pulled down by Martinez. Just kind of waited to float over the shoulder for just a second and got it before it hit the wall. Deep right corner. We had a number of shots the Eagles have gotten out there earlier on offense, but this time shutting down Pope. Nice job for Martinez.
Yeah, and you can tell the wind is not a factor so much. It is blowing, but it isn't carrying the ball over the fence. That could have been, if it would have been a windy day, that could have definitely been a home run.
First out of the ball game. Fastball down the middle coming in now for Hagstrom. Hagstrom has a single and a run. Also was hit by a pitch, so been on base twice so far. The 1-0 coming from Parrish. Curving inside. Golf swing out towards right center, and that's going to bounce at the warning track there. Might have hit the wall as well. Chasing it down was Martinez once again, and that's getting a double. They do get the throw all the way to second, but getting there just in time was Hagstrom. I think he's breathing a sigh of relief, though.
Yeah, that was a nice throw from the outfield, and just couldn't get there in time, but was really, really close. Could have been contested as an out, but, yeah, the runner was safe.
6 hits now for Farmington. Runner at second, 1 down. Brings in a lefty now, Wyatt Bognall. He's 0 for 2. Ground out to Parrish, the pitcher, and flew to second. To Montez. Takes the fastball down the middle for the strike. Farmington trying to just get enough runners on to chip away at this 8-4 lead for the Eagles, doubling up on the Scorpions. Curveball outside off the end of the glove there. Chasing it back is Kestner. That's going to go all the way back to the netting, and unfortunately, you can just hear the hard shot on the end of the glove. That was thrown pretty hard. I'm sure his fingers are zinging after that.
You know, we were talking about earlier about the fact that Farmington had matched their best offensive effort. Well, right now, Hobbs has got their best offensive effort of the season. They had 5-3 against Cleveland the other day. Now they've got 8 runs, and so they're doing really well so far on offense.
Saw some movement in the bullpen there for Farmington, but those are wearing blue jerseys out there, not the ones we're seeing for Farmington. So another team must be practicing late tonight here.
Right. Yeah, definitely not Farmington.
Yeah, Farmington wearing the black, white numbers and green trim. 2 balls and 1 strike now. It's Parrish facing a real intense runner there at third, really going off with a big-time sprint before he went back to his bag, trying to get in the eyeball there of Parrish. Fastball. Late pump of the fist there by the ump. Thought they were going to call that low. Goes to a strike count. And now a 2-1 count. 2-1 with 1 out. An 8-4 Eagle lead. Runner at third for Farmington knocking at the door. Bat is resting on Bugnall's left shoulder now. Now he's going to lift it. Fastball at the end of the bat. It might have hit the catcher. Kester must have, because the runner is going to continue to first. That will score a run, and no indication they're going to call that foul, as the catcher did get a piece of that one.
It did sound something like it hit part of the catcher as well. So advance the runner and scores a run to make it 8-5.
8-5. Not doubling up anymore, they are.
Nope.
So runners at first for Farmington. Now J.J. Oliver steps up for the Scorpions. He's 0 of 2, ground to third, and struck out.
That'll be a ball.
A lot of shots going over to third base for the Eagles defense. Gonzalez been fielding a lot of that stuff up the line. He had Oliver and Darwin twice actually hit it towards him out there. Pretty close to the bag he is at this point. 1-0 pitch from Parrish. Fastball. It's missing outside for ball 2.
Yep.
So he's been going down on the count here the last couple of batters, but fought back hard, did Parrish.
I think he really doesn't want to repeat of the third inning. That one took too long to get those 3 outs that he needed.
Curveball, ooh, hits off his fist right around the bat area, or the handle area of the bat. You can just hear the knuckle buster on that one. That'll be hit by a pitch number 3 now for the benefit of Farmington. Coach Boyle calls time as he's heading out to the mound here. Parrish has been kind of a workhorse in this game as we are in the top of the 5th, but I don't think Coach Boyle wants any more of this lead to be whittled away.
Yeah, exactly, because he's at 84 pitches right now. At the very least, he's going to go out there and talk to him a little bit, make sure he's okay still.
No, he's
see if
gone.
he get through the inning,
He's
but no, now he's out.
But, hey, Parrish stayed in there, down 4-0, got the lead to 8-5. Big turnaround there. And I'll wait to see who Coach Boyle decides to make the switch with. Looks like he's handed off the ball to somebody else. It's coming in from the outside. We'll double-check who that is. We'll take a break. 60 seconds to be back live. Your Eagles up 8-5 over Farmington. Pitching change here at Sportsman's Park.
All right, we have a pitching change. It is Yudahara as we get deeper into the top of the 5th inning. It is now 8-5, and Hobbs still has a 3-run lead. And with the call, you got it. It's Ty Friend.
Alan Yudahara, who has not pitched yet this season. Last year he played in 16 games. It was 156 in batting average. He is an infielder and pitcher and just a sophomore. So youngster out there for the Eagles. First chance to work in the relief area here for the Eagles. Do have a 3-run lead, 8-5, as Parrish got them back into that lead after being down 4-0 back in the 3rd inning. Hobbs getting those 6 runs to take the lead at the bottom of the 3rd, 2 in the 4th for their 8. It was Farmington 1 run in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd, and 1 run here in the top of the 5th. 1 down, runners at 1st and 2nd for the Scorpions. Here comes Yudahara with the pitch. Curveball showing bunt, drops it right in front of the plate, but is in foul or not. Umpires pointing to the ground and stopping the action.
Yeah, it's just hit the ground and just dead. It was just dead right there. And apparently that is a foul.
Dylan Darwin is the man at the plate right now. He has ground out twice over to Gonzalez. Back-to-back at bats for him on that. So I guess Mr. Gonzalez over there better be ready for some action, as Darwin likes to go to him quite a bit tonight. Ooh, coming into his windup and coming across the rubber. Oh, they are going to call the balk. I was kind of waiting to see if that was going to be called or not, and it was kind of a delay. And both umpires are going to come out and discuss it now, so there is a question whether that was. Coach Boyle is charging out there now, and not a happy camper.
I was going to say that last play that Farmington had, they were very lucky. It was called a foul ball because otherwise it would have been an easy out at first and given them 2 outs for the inning.
One up called the balk, and there was kind of a delay there as we saw the complete windup, and coming across the rubber forward was Yudahara. And then the plate umpire, I think, is maybe arguing for Boyle's defense here, but I think the guy in the field.
Nope.
Oh, look like
it's called a balk.
No, he's sending him back. That's not a balk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's pointing.
That's what he did.
He pointed
okay.
the reverse direction.
I thought he was pointing it to first, but he was pointing him back to first, so that's the reason.
Yep. So I think the home plate umpire was taking Boyle's defense on this one. He said that it looked like Coach Boyle talking to Coach Bowman over there at the dugout, how he was holding the ball at the last second. He kind of pulled up on the ball, and I guess that was the one umpire bet on and thought that was a balk. But regardless, I can't really hear what they're saying, but just trying to read some body language over there. Right. That's going to reset the batter once again. Darwin 0 for 2. 2 ground outs at 3rd, as we mentioned. Runner still at 1st and 2nd. 0-1 count. As we rewind here, here's a windup in the throw from Yudahara, showing bunt again up down the middle. The throw to second, off to the right. Nobody there to cover. It's going to roll out to center field. Not a good decision on that throw from Kestner. And that will get a run to score from second that time. As chugging it out for Farmington was Bugnall. So that's going to get it to 8-6.
Right.
And kind of a delay for Kestner behind the plate, was not going to throw it, then all of a sudden did, and it kind of curved to the right of the second bag, and the second baseman for the Eagles had already moved to the right, Montez. It wasn't even close to the second bag that time. Fastball high, and that'll be a swing and a miss to Darwin. He will sit down on the strikeout. Not a lot of Ks so far for Farmington. That's just their 4th in this ball game. And that was the first for Yudahara at the mound, the relief pitcher for the Eagles. That's going to bring up 8th, or make it 9th in the order, Nathaniel Montemaris, as he comes up to the plate. Still 8-6 your score. Here with 2 outs. Fastball well outside. Good save there. Backhand catch there for Kestner. Big deep breath there for Yudahara at the mound, and a runner's going to be leading off there at second. Here's the windup in the throw. Fastball, another bunt look, right back to Yudahara. Turns and fires in the front of the pitcher's mound and makes the connect over to first base off the 1-3 to Alvarado for out number 3. So the ground out to the pitcher for Matamoros. In fact, 2 runs do come across on a couple of hits there for Farmington. 1 runner left on as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Eagles going to try to extend on their 8-6 lead over the Scorpions. Come back with us in half a minute on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
right, we're entering the bottom of the 5th as Hobbs still holds a 2-run lead, 8-6, but Farmington came back in that top of the 5th and were able to get 2 runs to score. And Hobbs now just sees if they need to get some more insurance runs to come in during this inning. Now here's the call with Ty Friend.
It is 8-6 in score, and also Eagles lead in hits 8-6, so carbon copy numbers there. Again, bottom of the 5th, we are slated for 7. Kind of a late game going on here. It's already over 2 hours, 9:06 on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Curveball inside, whacked at by Camacho out to short. High throw to first. Connected a big reach high for Bogno that time off the throw from Pope on the 6-3 for out number 1. A big stretch out there, too, by Bogno to come down with that. When Camacho goes down, that was his first non-hit of the game. He had a double and single and an RBI triple with the run scored prior to that. But unfortunately, will not get another hit for the night. And that's going to bring up top of the order for the 4th time now, Gerardo Gonzalez. As he comes up trying to get his first hit of the ballgame, was hit by a pitch on his last at bat, takes the first fastball for the strike. He got on due to an error, started the first inning, stolen base after that, flew out to short, and hit by the pitch with the run scored after that as well. 1 down for the Eagles, leading 8-6 here in the bottom of the 5th. Relief Madison at the mound. Curveball inside, out to short. He had to go behind the dirt that time. Throws a high one again. Another big leap brought down by Bogdell. Hobbs fans thought he might have pulled the foot off the bag at first. But wait a second. Are they sending him out or not? The runner's running back to Coach Boyle, and then he puts his hand up to call the time. The runner thought he was out. As he started jogging off the field, they throw him out at first after the play. I haven't seen that happen at all. That's the first time. Coach Boyle was already protesting, and it was out on the field before that throw to first happened, well after the play. We've already had some confusion out there earlier on the balk, and now we're going to have another discussion with the infield ump and the plate ump. They only have 2 in these games. There aren't 3 out there tonight. Coach Boyle had his hand up in the air, raising it up there. And the Hobbs Eagles runner tried to run back like he was done, and that's when Farmington smartly threw him out at first, but the discussion's going to be made here.
Right.
Oh, they're calling him out. Oh, Coach Boyle, not a happy camper after that one.
No, 2 up and 2 down already for Hobbs. Not a good sign for them as they continue to bat in this 5th inning. I got an update for you on Cleveland Los Lunas. They played earlier, and it was a 6-inning game with the final score 12-1. Cleveland scored 3 in the last inning in the 6th inning to be able to put it out of reach for Los Lunas. And they're going to be our opponent tomorrow.
Josiah Martinez, he's a lefty, second in the order for your Eagles. 2 outs now. He's 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts and ground to second. Curveball comes inside and hits the outside right elbow. That's against Martinez. He will take that hit by a pitch. That's the 3rd time that's happened in this ball game. Gonzalez, Martinez, both getting hit. And also Armendariz taking a shot as well. 3rd in the order now, Jason Fuentes. He's been on 2 out of 3 times, a walk, did score a run, an error, and another run, so he's been through the home plate twice for the Eagles. 2 of their 8 runs. Fastball drops low for ball 1. Big leadoff that time for Martinez. Sprinted back to first. 2-run lead for the Eagles, up with 8-6 in the hit count here. Bottom of the 5th. Farmington had 2 runs in the top of the 5th. Curve inside, gets slapped down by the glove of the catcher, and he just did that on purpose because he was going to pop up and throw him the runner out at second, but ball kind of sunk in the field turf that time. Not a good scoop for him. That was long behind the plate. 1 ball, no strike to Fuentes. Again, 3rd in the order for the Eagles. Comes a pitch, fastball, gets a piece of it, out to left field, or keep it on the ground on the roll. That's going to be at least a double, it looks like. The runner's going to try to get all the way to 3rd, and they're in time. So a double for Jason Fuentes, and that's going to send Martinez to 3rd, and the Eagles in scoring position with 2 outs. First hit of the game for Fuentes. That is their 9th hit of the contest.
Nice set of plays right there. First you get 1 on, then you get a double, and you got 2nd and 3rd covered, and you know what? Before you know it, you've got 2 possibilities of scores in this bottom of the 5th after 2 outs had already happened.
Another meeting of the minds coming for Farmington. They know who they're facing next. Xavier Alvarado. He's been on the bases all 3 times tonight. Walk, and then he went big, a single with the run and a 2 RBI home run. As Eagles took the now 8-5, make it 8-6 lead. Timeout called as coach for Farmington out there. Coach discussing, I guess they're just going to say, hey, get your head back in the game. No change on the pitching mound. There's already a reliever out there, Madison.
Yeah, and they're also wondering if they should just go ahead and pitch to him or maybe pitch around him. Get to Johnson. Johnson's not doing too bad either. He had a two RBI double too, or single actually, because it was considered a single. But either way, he had a hit, got 2 RBIs earlier in this game.
Well, that wasn't Johnson. That was somebody else. Johnson's 0 for 3 right now. Wait,
right.
It looks like you're right, though, about the pitch out. They're just going to go ahead and automatic walk him on this one. Fans are booing right now.
Well, yeah, nobody likes to see that, especially, the home team. They want to see some action. They want to see him be able to get something and put it on the board.
So that'll walk of Alvarado. But he's been on all 4 times, but 2 walks and 2 hits. And now Kenyon Johnson, he's 0 for 3. That's the 4th walk of the game issued to the Eagles. That one on purpose there. Johnson ground to short, got an error, got a run scored, and then ground to pitcher. So he's due for one here, trying to get his first hit of the night. Still a 2-run lead for the Eagles with 2 down. Curveball inside. This is going over second base out to center field on the roll. And that might bring a run home. They're going to try to chuck it home. Pitcher's going to seal it off and then throw back to second, but the run scores. RBI single for Kenyon Johnson. Great way to get your first hit of the game, Ron.
Exactly, that was. Like I said earlier, he had an error on it. He got to first just barely, but that's because the throw was a little errant, and he ended up going to second and scored a couple of runs on that one as well. Still, nice hit, drove it up the middle, was in the gap, wasn't able to be caught until it was in the outfield, and that did a lot of damage against the Farmington Scorpions.
Martinez and Fuentes scoring, making it 10-6 now, extending 2 more runs on the board, and that brings up Cole Kestner. 2 for 3 so far. Fastball to him's a blooper, going to roll towards middle between first and second. A bad throw. He kind of shot it hard. They forgot there was a runner coming home too, as a first baseman and the second base kind of stared at each other after a hard. He got so close to the first baseman, threw it so hard it ricocheted off his glove, hit the dirt. And that should be an error on that one. I mean, that was a point-blank shot about maybe 5-10 feet away from each other, and just threw it so hard it just knocked off like a trampoline off the glove of the first baseman.
Exactly, you're right about that. Yeah, it should have been an easy out, and instead he dropped the ball, an error for the Farmington Scorpions again, but still, that does advance the runner and continues to get the scoring going. A little more insurance runs would be nice, and be able to get out of this with a nice victory.
Alvarado gets through for the run. It's a now 11-6, 5-run lead. 5-run lead on the curveball inside. It goes, flips up in the air as Montez tried to come up with that one, but they called that foul off the first pitch to him.
All right.
Kestner's at second. So Montez gets back in the box now. Waiting for the pitch from Madison, take a little bit more time. Curveball comes down the middle for the strike. Montez watching that one. He's been on the base once with a walk, got a run after that, flew to right and had a strikeout of the game so far, so he's trying to get his first hit. 7th in the order for the Eagles. Armendariz and Camacho due up next, 8-9. Curveball. Kind of a fly swatter shot. Goes down the third base line. Touched by the baseman there. Coach Boyle thought it should be fair. Kind of swatted down with his glove on there at the third base line. That was Delgado.
It looked like from the trajectory of it all that it just went ahead and missed his glove. Just hit the base just barely on the outside, and it was called a foul.
I bet you that's going to keep Delgado on alert here. Back up to the plate goes Montez. 0-2 count, though. Got to make some contact on that ball to stay alive here with 2 down. Eagles by 5. Fastball low and outside. The throw down coming to third. The runner's there in time. The nice zinger, though, from the catcher Long as he chucked it over to third base to Delgado. And, boy, what a tough dive there with the feet first, though, at least, for the Eagles to get to third. That was Canyon Johnson, the big bad, doing some base running for the Eagles.
Yeah, and he was struggling earlier, but apparently he had his groove going on, or he got it just right, the speed that is, and got it in for another out, another save.
A curveball,
Yes.
ricochets off of Pope at short. That'll be an RBI, 2 RBI single. The throw to home, diving leap. They get his leg though, tag out. Great job for the catcher Long to swipe up in the air and get the leg. But 1 run does score, RBI single for Christian Montez for another run for the Eagles. Hobbs Eagle fans getting lit up here, really excited about what's been going on lately. As Hobbs now extends to 13-6, that will end the 5th inning. Boy, it took a little bit of time there too, as the Hobbs Eagles racking up a total of 3 hits. They get 5 runs to come across and now lead by 7, 13-6. We head to the top of the 6th with 2 more innings left here at Sportsman's Park. You're listening live to Hobbs Eagle Baseball with the tournament going on, the Black and Gold, what fest, Ron?
Slugfest.
Slugfest. Be back with you on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
All right, we're back at Veterans Memorial Complex as Hobbs is taking on Farmington, and so far it is a good game for Hobbs. 13-6 is the lead as we get into the top of the 6th inning, and Farmington's up to bat. Here it is, the call from Ty Friend.
Yeah, double-digit hits now for Hobbs. 11-6 is the numbers at this point, are the numbers. Udahar came in relief for the Eagles, so when a curveball inside, almost gets a piece of the batter that time. Top of the order, Joe Darnell. This is the 4th time he's been up. Doesn't have a hit yet, does have a walk and a run. Ground to short and flew to right center. Curveball inside, whack it hard towards center, a shallow shot. Coming up to get it with a one-hand catch is Camacho for out number 1 off the fly from Darnell. That's the 2nd time in a row that he's hit it out there too, so he's got a little relationship going on there with Camacho. 1 down. Next up, second of the order, Sebastian Delgado. He's been on base all 3 times, couple of singles. Fastball, a little late swing for Delgado. Gets a piece of it, but goes to the catcher. 2 stolen bases for Delgado. RBI single, regular single, run, hit by a pitch. Been on base all 3 times tonight. Time called as Delgado going to step out of the box here. Here's the windup and the throw. Fastball, it gets, unfortunately, past the outstretched hands there of Kestner.
Yeah. Luckily, though, nobody on base to cause any damage for that one.
Quickly back to the box he goes. 1-1 count with 1 down. Eagles by 7. Here's the windup from the throw from Udahara. Fastball, and gets a lot of air behind this one toward that right corner again to the side first baseline, and a nice catch on the side run there. Coming up with it, Martinez for the out. Off the fly to the right corner. So Delgado's going to have to take a seat. Some balls are starting to head out to the right field area, right and center right there. So Hobbs better be on the alert. It's coming up 3rd in the order, Santiago Long. He had a couple of flyouts himself, center and right. And also an RBI double, so he did mix up with a hit in that mess as well.
Yeah, and a pitcher always wants to either get a strikeout or get a flyout and make it an easy out for him.
2 down, though. Fastball. This one's heading to center again. He's been there before and going to kind of drift towards right, toward the wall. It bounces off the wall, played by Camacho. Sends it down to second. A hard throw, but overthrows, but takes a bounce into infield. As Montez didn't really have a chance to come down with that one, but a pretty hefty throw out there from center from Camacho. It does end up being a double, though, for Long.
And he's going to get a courtesy runner, too, looks like, unless he is.
Is he hurt? Looks like he was kind of hobbling a little bit there. That's the 2nd double for Long. 2 for 4 from the plate, and he comes in, like you said, with the courtesy run. It looks like Kobe Benali checks in for Farmington. Winds are picking up a little bit more now here in the top of the 6th.
Yep, that warmth from the day is long gone now.
Long John, right?
Oh, yeah, that too.
Udahar comes to the curve, down the pike, and boy, gets the big boy waiting on that one. Pope's got some size out there, height at least. He's got a hit to his name, too, an RBI single. Strikeout and a fly to right. A lot of fly balls going out to right field in this one. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Udahara. Fastball hits low and throwing his knees down to the ground to stop it from getting through. Good job for Kestner, the catcher for the Eagles.
Right.
Count even up at 1-1.
Yeah, you got a runner on second. You definitely got to watch that ball, make sure it doesn't go to the back stop.
Udahara looks back at second, turns and fires a fastball. This one goes to the backstop as it sails past Kestner outside the right of the plate there. Kester, or actually that was Udahara, came to the plate to help out after that as the runner did extend to third. So knocking to the door again is Farmington. But they do have 2 outs to worry about here.
Right.
They're just hoping that they can get Pope kind of dumping this out far out and get the runner home. But they're still down by 7 at this point.
Exactly. I was going to say they're needing 7 at least to get back into this game to tie it.
Pitch goes fastball, a little low, and they're going to get the 3rd ball on that one.
So, yeah, 3-1 is the count, and runner in scoring position.
Udahara takes a peek at third, turns and fires. Fastball low, that'll be a walk. Good eye for Pope. His first walk of the ball game. Second time been on base for Farmington. Now the guy that's really been stroking well is Hagstrom. He's got a couple of hits so far, a single and a double, scored 2 runs, was also hit by a pitch. He's been on base all 3 times he's been up tonight. And if he gets on, we're going to have a loaded base situation that Udahara's got to deal with here. But hopefully it doesn't get that way, though. He forced out at second.
So he's a good hitter and a sophomore, so he's got plenty of time to increase his skills.
Of course, Udahara, the pitcher, the sophomore, too. Fastball, a little bit outside for ball 1. Cleveland tomorrow night, 7:30, 7:15 for the pregame show here at Sportsman's Park. HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cold 95.7 Facebook page. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Check swing. And they're going to say, did he go around on it or not? Nope, calling it a ball. Count to 1-1. That's Wyatt Bogdahl. Or correction, no, Danny Hagstrom, mentioned before, with 2 hits. Fastball down low, a stolen base attempt, a high throw gets past, a diving Montez at second. They're going to try to chuck it to third from center, and that throw from Camacho, he's been getting some good long shots out from center field here tonight. Runner Doe gets all the way to third, so Eagles have a little bit of trouble to connect on the throw down there from Kester behind the plate all the way over to second.
Yeah.
Took a shot, looked like Montez, I don't know, was trying to judge where that ball was coming, and it almost looked like it hit him before it went out to the outfield.
Either way, he had a first and third on, and definitely had a score setting aside for Farmington.
Curveball inside, hard shot right towards third. Gonzalez tries to cradle for second, and might have got him right in the no-no part there.
Or the leg, anyway.
Yeah, inside thigh, but so Farmington's put a couple more runs through. They got 13-8, down by 5 now to the Eagles.
Yeah, they matched their last inning. They had 2 last inning and 2 this inning so far. And they are still up with 2 outs.
So Pope and Long come home for Farmington, 13-8, 11-7 kit count in favor of the Eagles right now by 4. And 5 in the runs numbers. Fastball down the middle from Udahara for the strike. Of course, you definitely want to see the Hobbs bats going pretty strong here, bottom of the 6th. Just a 5-run lead. They were down 4-0 earlier in this game in the 3rd inning. Curb inside and goes out the end of the bat over the top of this press box. Out of play, foul. Towards the softball field behind us.
Pitchers ahead on the count.
Yep, definitely going to have to protect the plate now for Wyatt Bognall. Longnall has ground out to pitcher twice and flew to second. And he is a lefty as well. So I guess that will mean that Udahara's going to got the radar ready to go here. Drops it right down the middle of the pike, and not too happy as Bognall slammed his bat down a little bit. He knew he shouldn't have hesitated on that with an 0-2 count and pays the price on the K. Strikeout for Bognall, sits him down. Although a couple of hits there for Farmington. They do get a couple of runs come across, leave one on base. Your Hobbs Eagles, though, still with the lead, 13-8, head to the bottom of the sixth. Some insurance runs would be nice. We'll see if it happens here in 60 seconds. Back live here at Sportsman's Park. A third pitcher now out for Farmington. That's Pope. He was the shortstop, Jordan Pope. So he's coming in now, second reliever for Farmington. And now Saul Armendariz at the plate for the Eagles. He's been on twice, hit by a pitch and a single. Did score a run earlier. Also ground to short. Fourth appearance, eighth in the order for the Eagles. They lead 13-8 here in the bottom of the sixth. We are slated for 7 here at Sportsman's Park. Here's the windup now for Pope, one of the taller players for Farmington. Fastball down the middle, and he gets the strike zone there. Hold on for Armendariz taking the call. Coach Boyle is backed up way near the bullpen or dugout there for the Hobbs Eagles. Staying out of the box. Here's the 1-1. Fastball kind of lunging across the plate that time. It dropped sharply, and it went right to the field turf there for Armendariz. Foul ball.
Right.
So he's got to protect the plate as well at the 1-2 count. 11 hits for the Eagles, 7 for Farmington. Here comes the windup in the throw now from Pope. Curve it inside, a blooper out to short. It's going to take a roll. A little bit of time there. The throw is well over the first baseman to the dugout of Farmington on the right side. And that errant throw coming from the backup shortstop, Declan Madison, who was the one that checked in for Pope. Madison was the second reliever, or first reliever, and then Pope took his spot, so they just kind of swapped positions there.
Yeah, and Armendariz went ahead and advanced to second. It went out of play, and so that's all he could do. He was actually just going to be content with being at first base, looked like, but they waved him on to second.
So that's going to bring up the bottom of the order now. Jason Camacho. There's going to be a throwdown after the fastball down the middle. Runner's going to get back to second in time, but Armendariz. But the ball went over his head, got kind of ricocheted out there to center field, but he's just going to stay at second. Camacho at the plate, we mentioned. He's 2 of 3 right now. An RBI triple with the run, a single, and ground out to short. I don't know what the delay is here as everybody's looking out towards the infield umpire there.
Looks like he's signaling or something. Yep, there, he stopped.
1-0 count. Wind up with the throw from Pope. Fastball. We're going to bunt down the first base line for Camacho. He's going to do it perfectly. Gets across the first bag in time and gets the runner advanced to third. And just enough speed. It looks like the ball was going with him the whole way up to first base line. And, the defense trying to figure out how to get the ball away from his feet area there. But he kept it in regulation play, legal play there. And picks up a single. Perfectly advanced bunt for Camacho.
It was. The worrying thing was Camacho going to accidentally step on it or not? That would have been a problem. Otherwise, he did not. He got clean to the first base and advanced second to third.
Fifth time at the top of the order for the Eagles, Gerardo Gonzalez trying to get his first hit of the ball game, but been on twice, an error and a hit by a pitch earlier in the game. in his first and third at bats. Fastball outside for ball one. Runners at first and third for the Eagles, who lead by 5, 13-8 here in the bottom of the sixth. There is one more inning, at least one more at bat, I should say, for Farmington.
Right.
Quick throw over to first, not in time, as getting back for the Eagles was Camacho.
Yeah, Farmington has been still in it. The last 2 innings, they've gotten 2 runs, so they're trying to keep it close.
Fastball down is high for another ball, 2-0 count. So getting ahead of the count here is Gonzalez. Top 2 in the order, Gonzalez and Martinez have yet to get a hit, but this would be a great opportunity to get that in the books here, extend that 5-run lead. Fastball, a little late swing off the handle, goes to the right backstop. Out of foul territory. Lots of sports action coming up this weekend, of course. The state basketball tournament, first round of the playoffs. Bunch of Lee County teams in. Hobbs Lady Eagles, both the Lovington squads, Tatum girls, Eunice boys and girls. Am I missing anybody? Jow boys.
Yep.
Lots of hoops teams in the
those
mix.
Tatum girls.
Yep, mentioned them. They're
Yeah.
heavy seed. Curveball inside out towards left. Over the shoulder attempt for the catch. Not able to come down with it for Darnell. And that's going to be at least a double. And that gets the Hobbs Eagles in great position to score again with no outs.
And an RBI double to be exact.
RBI double. Gonzalez is the one that pulls that one through for the Eagles. And now the score, we haven't put that up on the scoreboard yet, 13-8 right now, but runners at second and third. You sure somebody came across on that one?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. He picked up the bat and ran across.
Eagles got some big leadoffs here. Check swing on the fastball. Okay, it wasn't 12-8. It should have been, now it's 13-8, so they did have one. Runners at second and third for the Eagles, 0-1 count now. Josiah Martinez at the plate, one of the lefties, takes the fastball for the strike. Martinez has been on 1 out of 4 times on base tonight with a hit by a pitch in his 4th appearance. 2 strikeouts, a ground to second, and then run did score for him after being hit by a pitch. Here's the 1-1. Outside on the left by Pope to make it 2-1 off the ball. Eagles still lead by 5 here. 2-run score for Farmington earlier, and here in the bottom of the 6th, Eagles try to add on to that 5-run lead. Fastball comes down inside for ball 3. 3-1 count as Martinez gets well ahead. He's second in the order. Third and fourth, Fuentes and Alvarado. Of course, Alvarado's been on all 4 times tonight for the Eagles, including a 2 RBI homer. First HR of the season for the Eagles. Here's the 3-1 pitch inside, golf swing, and going to ricochet right off the Hobbs Eagle dugout on the left side. Almost took out the front row, about 6 or 7 players up there kind of leaning over the edge there, and almost looked like a clean sweep of all of them. Full count. Second reliever Pope on the mound here for Farmington. Trying to get their first win of the season, 0-2 so far. Eagles at 1-2. Fastball comes low between the knees of Long, the catcher. And I thought that should have, I thought that was a full count. And something that should be a walk. Nope, up
I'm just saying 3-2. Now it's a full count.
I could swear he's got 4 fingers up on that left hand for some reason, but I don't know what that's all about. Fastball, and that's going to go out towards the car lot here. Over the top of the, well, actually, no, it sails right into the Hobbs Eagle bullpen. Hits the top of the netting there in the cage. So staying alive, the lefty, Josiah Martinez. Trying to get in the hit book here to make it 15 hits on the night for the Eagles on their home field. Curveball at the end of the bat. That's going to get past third base out to left field on the ground. And put that down. Big wheels coming to second. And that was a delayed throw coming out from left field as Darnell lost the ball in his glove on the ground there. So I don't know if you call that a single or a double. The hesitation there is what got the runner to second. But So Martinez at least gets a single, extended to a double, if you want to call it that.
Right, I think I would.
Run scores for the Eagles.
That means 4 innings in a row. Hobbs has put up some points, some runs, and that is a nice streak there going for him.
14-8 is the score. That's going to bring in Jason Fuentes. Takes the first pitch, a fastball for the ball, a little high. Fuentes with a double in his last at bat. That was his 4th time so far. Walked and got a run, too. Also scored a run off the double. Scored a run off an error. And ground out to third to start it off. Curveball inside, golf swing. Huge error underneath this one in foul territory on the right side. And everybody trying to chase that one down. And boy, putting on a major sprint was Wyatt Bongle, the first baseman. He was the first one out there and was getting towards the right field foul fence down from the Farmington dugouts. But putting on the wheels there was the first baseman, Bognall.
Yeah, and it is officially 15-8 with the score now. And Hobbs with a big lead. 3 more scores, and they could put this one in the books.
That is the case. I think they did start to give Farmington the chance to get their at-bat, though, on the 7th. Ooh, curve inside, almost taken off the face of Jason Fuentes. Count goes to 2-1 now for Fuentes. He's 3rd in the order. Waiting now for Pope to give him another one to make a decision about here with the runner at 2nd. Fastball down the pike, low for ball 3. So well ahead of the count now is Fuentes. Eagles trying to even their record at 2-2 on the season. Their lone win against Cleveland so far. Lost to Los Lunas and Berlin. 3-1 pitch goes low. That should be, no, they called the strike. Whoa, the bottom of the strike zone, I guess, but just barely clipped it. So he'll go down on the strikeout for Fuentes.
Yes, indeed.
That brings up the cleanup man, Xavier Alvarado. He's the cleanup man. He has a 2 RBI homer. That's his only hit, but he's been on base all 4 times, had a couple of walks, scored a run off one of those, hit by a pitch, scored a run off that as well, and, of course, scored a run when he got the 2 RBI homer. Which I forgot to write the run in the book there. 15-8 Eagles. Takes the first pitch outside and low for ball 1. 15-7 hit count. Hobbs up, doubling plus on Farmington. Wasn't that way up through top of the 3rd as Farmington led 4-0 early in this one. Hobbs got 6 runs in the bottom of the 3rd to take a 6-4 lead and have led since then. 1-0 pitch goes low for Pope. Stop sign put up there for the Eagles of Alvarado, making sure his teammate runner over there, Martinez at 2nd, wasn't going to try to get too eager and get off the base. Stay where he's at 2nd. 2 pitches ahead now is Alvarado, a 2-0 count in the lefty side. Pope's going to turn and fire to 2nd. And, back in time. And shortstop over there was Madison, who was the first reliever, and kind of slapped the glove right on top of the helmet of the Hobbs Eagle at 2nd.
Of course, we got our hardcore fans out here snuggling up as they're trying to keep warm.
Yep, winds are picking up for just a bit here later in the game, and probably about 5 to 10 miles per hour at Sportsman's Park. More games coming up this week, Friday and Saturday, of course. Cleveland on Friday. 7:15 pregame show, and the first pitch at 7:30.
Yeah, there is a game before that, so probably about 30 minutes after that game, and we'll get it started.
Fastball outside, that'll be ball 4, and of course, that's the guy that hit a big one earlier tonight, the homer, so they definitely didn't want to pitch to him much.
Nope.
So
that's
a walk,
the 2nd.
3rd walk issued to Alvarado in this game.
2nd in a row for him, as that brings up, of course, once again, Johnson.
Johnson got the single, RBI single, stolen base, and a run scored just at his last at bat. He's had another run earlier off an error, ground to short and ground to pitcher in his other 2 at bats. Still just 1 out for the Eagles. Fastball inside. They try to throw it down the 3rd baseline. Nice grab there by Delgado. Or no, was that a fake? Who has the ball here? I didn't even see who had it. The catcher Long looked like he chucked it hard to 3rd. Did he even have the ball that time? Was that just a fake job there?
No, he did. He threw it out to third, but was not in time as the runner was safe.
I just didn't see it ever get back to the pitcher, but he's got it now, so I don't know how they got out there. Fastball goes low and outside for a ball. It's definitely on a yo-yo that time.
Yeah, they tried to get it out there, but it wasn't in time. Nice little maneuver.
Well, I saw that part
runner.
of it, but then I didn't see it ever get thrown back to the pitcher. So they were trying to trick somebody there and get Hobbs off the bases. Fastball outside again for ball 2.
Well, sometimes you try to do anything, especially when you're down this much. You got to get the outs when you can.
Eagles now over the 2-hour mark, 2:41. Actually, I don't think we started right at 7, though.
No, we didn't. We started after.
Fastball low for ball 3. Good eye for the Eagles. As Johnson trying to go back-to-back hits for him after that single earlier. This is his 5th at-bat. He is 5th in the order for the squad. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Fastball low and outside. Ball 4. Back-to-back walks issued by Pope.
Yep.
Please don't have another pitching change. Hobbs will continue to send people to the plate, and now it's going to be Cole Kestner, the catcher. He's had a couple of doubles or singles in this game. Flew to left as well and got an error to get on base, and had 1 stolen base to add to his numbers.
Yep, just 1 out for Hobbs as they are looking pretty good with bases loaded.
Still just that 1 out, too. Pope's going to throw it to third. The runner's going to be out of position. He's got to do a rundown here. Back and forth he goes, and they keep throwing it down to third. Run up the line. Back to the pitcher who lost the ball off the back of the runner for the Eagles, and he ends up scoring.
Yep.
A lot of messing around there for Farmington, and coming across the plate for Hobbs is Josiah Martinez to put the run down.
And it could have been an interference call as well because he ran into the pitcher as he was trying to get to the home base, so it probably would have been a safe call anyway,
if
or possibly.
The pitcher wants to be on the line and get in the runner's way, he can get taken out, and that's pretty much what happened. The ball ended up bouncing off the back of the runner and gave him time to get to the plate. So now 16-8, Eagles doubling up on Farmington with just that 1 out. Runners at second and third. Curveball going to be a bouncer right back to Pope, and he bobbles it for a second, still able to unload the ball. Gets it over to his first baseman, Bognall, for out number 2. Off the ground out. That was Cole Kestner.
Yeah, that took nerves of steel to be able to get that ball, corral it, and be able to throw it to first base. He had plenty of time, but still, you got to be on the mark on that one and can't be off by a little bit.
Christian Montez, last at bat was a RBI single. Also had a walk earlier, scored a run eventually, flew to right and struck out. So he is 1 for 3 so far at the plate. Takes the first fastball outside for ball 1. Eagles runners at second and third. Long night for baseball here as we approach the 10 o'clock hour at Sportsman's Park. Fastball whacked hard past the umpire. Gets behind second base, and a ricochet off the shortstop who tried to cover Madsen. And that will be a score. RBI single for Montez. That's back-to-back RBI singles for Montez. And that brings up now 8th in the order, Saul Armendariz. He's got a couple of singles to his name. Has scored a run, hit by a pitch, and ground to short. So he's been on 3 out of 4 times at this point. 2 outs for the Eagles. Runners at first and third. 17-8 the score now. Up by 9 are the Eagles. Pope going to go with the fastball. Zipping up quick to try to look for a throw now was Bognall, but let the ball flip out of his glove there, and just a little bit of gamesmanship there for the catcher. He slid off to the right side and just kind of facing the runners there at first and third. Curveball comes inside to Armendariz, holds on that one, picks up the ball for ball number 2.
I was expecting a strike call on that one, but it did not happen. So nice pitch.
2-0 count now to Armendariz. Camacho to finish up the order for the Eagles. The 5th time through the order for Hobbs. Definitely got a lot of bats working in this one. Curveball inside, and he brushes back Armendariz. Fans were screaming that he might have got hit on that one, but I'm sure he would have been hunched over if that was the case. That would have been right across his thighs that time, and Pretty hard zinger at that. Another throw down to first, way late there. Getting back for the Eagles is Montez. Of course, Camacho comes up ninth in the order. 3 for 4 at the plate. Couple of singles and an RBI triple. Scored 1 run. Stolen base, or no stolen bases, though. But usually don't have a guy cranking it that hard at the ninth in the order. 3-0 count. Well ahead is Armendariz. If he gets on with the walk, Weir got bases loaded once again. Fastball gets by the catcher, hits the backstop. He underhands it back to home, and then we get a chase down between third and home. Third is there in time in the tag, and that's going to stop that run from scoring. That will be the third out as well. Eagles got caught in a rundown between third and home. So anyway, the Eagles do manage to get 4 more runs, doubling up Farmington just in that 6th inning alone. It's the last hurrah, though, for Farmington, Ron. As they trail 17-8, they got to get at least 9 runs to tie it up here to get the Eagles one last chance at a bat. They do get a lot of good hits from Hobbs in that inning. They had a total of 5. They score those 4 and now lead 17-8, up by 9 as we head to the bottom or top of the 7th. And again, like I said, last hurrah for the Scorpions. Come back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
All right. It was a close one. Almost got another run, but it was a rundown for Farmington. The score right now at the top of the 7th, final inning possibly for Farmington, as it is now 17-8. With the call here is Ty Friend.
Yep, the Scorpions need at least 9 runs to tie it up here. Hobbs would still get the last at bat. They're the home team, of course. 16 hits in this one tonight. More than double Farmington, who's got 7. Udahara is the reliever in this game for the Eagles. First pitch high for the fastball for ball 1. J.J. Oliver at the plate. He's 0 for 2. Was hit by a pitch. Ground to third and struck out. Take another high fastball for ball 2. Oliver 7th in the order. Darwin and Matamaras are left for Farmington. This is their 4th time through their lineup. Curveball inside. Hit behind a little bit on Fuentes, backhands it and makes a hard shot over to Alvarado for the 6-3 for out number 1.
Perfectly played, too. Was able to corral it and be able to throw it all the way over to first base without any problems.
First out there for Farmington. They're 2 away for being TKO'd in this one. Eagles are their biggest offensive production of the season so far, although they did beat Cleveland 5-3, a little low-scoring affair. Curveball inside, looked like it almost brushed the chest of Dylan Darwin. I say just barely missed. He's 0 for 3 right now. A couple of ground outs over there to third.
Yeah, missed
and
everything.
A strikeout.
That is a ball.
He continues to hit towards Gonzalez for the Eagles in this game. Curveball inside. There it goes through Gonzalez. Out to left field on the ground. Hard shot there. As soon as I got that out of my mouth, that's exactly what happened. First hit of the ball game for Darwin. That will be a single for him. And now the bottom of the order for Farmington, Nathaniel Matamaras. He has only been on base once due to being hit by a pitch. Did get a stolen base after that and a run scored, but then struck out and was ground out to pitcher. So he is 0 for 2 at this point. Throw over to first base, down in time for Udahara. Of course, Luke Parrish started off the game down 4-0 and then came back and got the lead for the Eagles at 6-4. He left somewhat after that for the sophomore, another sophomore on the mound, or actually junior Udahara.
Yep, and Hobbs has led ever since then.
Fastball out to right center. That should drop. It's going to roll towards the warning track. Might even hit the wall. That's going to be at least a double. The runner is going to be told to hold up. Coach first said go ahead and go to home, but brings him back. And so a double being converted by Matamoros, his first hit of the ball game. Back-to-back hits now for Farmington. They go to the top of the order, and that's Joe Darnell's turn. Only been on once due to a walk. He scored a run after that. He ground to short, flew to right, and flew to center right. Time called is Kestner getting his equipment taken care of, and they get balls reloaded here. 2 more outs the Eagles need to put this one in the books, leading 17-8 here in the top of the 7th.
Yep, 2 runs are threatening to score for Farmington.
Here comes Utahara now. Curveball comes down and barely clips the bottom of the strike zone. Inside there on the left of the plate as we face it. 0-1 count now for Utahara. Runners at second and third for the Scorpions. Curveball and clips the inside corner. This one a little bit higher, right where you want it. And holding on it and taking the strike was Darnell. Count to 0-2 now. Utahara says he wants the pitch that he saw being signaled by Kestner. Curveball is going to be knocked out to the foul territory towards the JV field. Actually hits off the right grandstand canopy there and bounces off the top.
Yep, Utahara ahead on the count.
Hobbs still needs to get 2 outs, though, to put this one away. Here's the windup and the throw. Fastball off the knuckler. Going to take a dribble over to short. Fuentes turns and fires and nails it over there to Alvarado from the 6-3 for out number 2.
Allowed to score to run, but a run to score, I should say. But still 2 outs, 1 more to go, and this game will be in the books.
Sack there for Darnell, RBI. And that will score Darwin. Scoreboard 17-9. Eagles by 8. Fastball high for ball 1. Runner at second gets the lead off here.
Yeah, there's 2 outs.
So 1 more out to get for the Eagles to get the W. Go to 2-2. Curveball inside. Golf swing heading over that JV field area again. Actually, it's going to hit right on top of the batting cage area behind Farmington's dugout. Hit right on top of the netting there. Delgado, one of their best hitters in this game, started off with 2 singles. 2 stolen bases, RBI, without second single and a run scored. Since then, he was hit by a pitch and flew to right. So kind of a little bit more of a downturn the last couple at bats. Here's the 1-1. Curveball. Looked like it was going to go to his back that time and just somehow got out of it and headed towards the plate. And he's kind of smiling after that because that looked like Delgado was going to hit right this number 2 in the back there. Count goes to 1-2 now. Here's the windup of the throw. Curveball inside, a wobbler off the handle. Hits off the right backstop out of play. Utahara just kind of trying to milk this one out here at the top of the 7th. They need 8 runs to tie it up here. Doesn't look like it's going to happen with 2 down.
It's going to take a whole lot of batting.
Rotation of the bat going on here for Delgado. Helicoptering it now as he's waiting for that pitch from Utahara. Taking some breathing time there. Here comes the pitch. Fastball. Yanked out towards center on a shallow bounce behind second, actually. The throw comes on the ground. Good attempt there to keep control by Montez. He tried to get his body down and then release the ball, but I think he took a tumble on his chest there after he released that one. It's kind of a low shot. Thought it was going to go more out towards center, but I think it hit right behind that second base and took a kind of bad bounce there. Yeah. Actually, that was the Eagles shortstop that was over there. Fuentes is backing up behind second.
And luckily that happened because if it would have went into the outfield, it could have been a score for Farmington.
So Delgado gets on with the single. And that's going to bring up third in the order, Santiago Long. He's had a couple of doubles in this game. One was an RBI and a run scored off the second one. 2 hits out of 4 at-bats, 2 for 4 at the plate. Fastball, the one outside for ball 1. Runners at first and third are the Scorpions. who need a lot more than 2 runs right now, down by 8.
Even the 3 won't help as much. It'll look nice in the stats, though, but, yeah, it won't win the game.
Curveball inside, right to third. Gonzalez is going to have the last chance for a throw on the out and gets it. He's had a lot of work out there at third tonight. Hit hard right at him and makes the shot. 5-3 for out number 3 on the ground out by Long. So your Hobbs Eagles are the big win here at Sportsman's Park, the first game of the 3-day tournament at Sportsman, a round-robin tournament. 17-9 over Farmington. Eagles improved to 2-2, go to 500, and Farmington is yet to win a game this season at 0-3. So it's 17-9 win, 16-9 in the hit count for the Eagles. We'll be back in 2 minutes with the Hobbs Eagle postgame show live on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page.
All right, welcome back as we are at the finale of this game, and Hobbs does come out victorious. And we're going to get all the numbers from Ty Friend right now.
17-9. Your Eagles winning by 8 in this game, down by 4-0 in the top of the third. Eagles get 6 runs in the bottom of the third and then extend the lead throughout the rest of this game and put the W in the books. Go to 2-2 on the season. Farmington now 0-3. Looking at the numbers, first of all, for the visiting Scorpions, their top hitter was Danny Hagstrom. He had 3 for 3 hitting in this one. Double, a couple of singles, a couple of runs scored. Definitely stroking the bat pretty well. Right behind him, Sebastian Delgado was 3 for 4. He had 3 singles in the game. One of those an RBI, a run scored, and 2 stolen bases for him. So those two guys, Delgado and Hagstrom, both combined for 6 of the hits of this game. Santiago Long was 2 for 5. He had an RBI double and another double in the game, and also scored a run for the Scorpions. A couple of the guys getting single hits apiece. Jordan Pope went 1 for 3. RBI single for him, a walk, and a run scored. It was Dylan Darwin went 1 for 4 with a single and a run. And Matamoros finished 1 for 3 with a double to his name. They had 11 hits total for Farmington, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts offensively in this ball game. They had a bunch of pitchers in there, Edmonston, Madison, and Pope, so 2 in relief here for the losing cause for Farmington. Hobbs Eagles getting some bat work tonight, 15 hits in this game. Boy, big one for Juan Camacho. He was 3 for 4, RBI triple, 2 singles, and a run scored. So really getting that bat working for the Hobbs Eagles cause. He was the leader with 3 hits. Lots of guys with 2 as well. Cole Kestner went 2 for 4. He had a pair of singles and a stolen base. Also, Christian Montez went 2 for 4. He had an RBI single. Also had another single in the game and a walk. So getting on base a lot. Also scored a run for the Eagles. Saul Armendaris went 2 for 3 with a couple of singles and a run scored. Also was hit by a pitch. So was on base 3 out of the 4 times he had up to home base in this game at the plate. Xavier Alvarado went 2 for 2 with a single, a run, a 2 RBI home run, including a run score for himself, a couple of 3 walks in the game, and another run off one of those. So he was 5 times at the plate, got on all 5 times. Those 3 walks, a homer, and a hit by a pitch. So definitely, or actually, no, I'm sorry, that was a single. So he had a single, the home run, and 3 walks. So 2 for 2 at the plate and got on all 5 times. Great game for Xavier Alvarado. That was the first home run of the season for him and for the team as well. Gerardo Gonzalez went 1 for 4, a RBI double plus a run scored on that one. He also got a run off a hit by a pitch in that game as well. Josiah Martinez went 1 for 4. He was a single in the game, hit by a pitch, and scored 2 runs as well. And Jason Fuentes went 1 for 3, a double, 2 runs scored, and a walk that scored a run as well. So these guys are just coming up with all the stats tonight. Canyon Johnson went 1 for 3. He had an RBI single, also got a stolen base and a run scored for the Eagles, and scored another run off an error when he got on base too. So at Ron, now if you look at the numbers here, every single player in the starting lineup for the Eagles had at least 1 hit, and 4 of those guys getting 1 apiece. 4 of them getting 2 apiece, and then, of course, it was Camacho with 3. Hobbs, 15 hits unofficially, 5 walks and 4 strikeouts. Went through 2 pitchers, Luke Parrish, and then, of course, Udahara finished up the ball game, getting the W for the Eagles. And, again, 2-2 record after their first win against Farmington here in the 3-day battle.
Yeah, they looked a little slow at first, but we knew that they had plenty of time to get into this game. Farmington was taking advantage of everything they could. Hobbs was not able to in the first couple of innings, but the third inning was long for both sides. For Farmington, they scored a couple of runs. Hobbs came back, though, and made this a game and got into the lead by that point. And then after that, they just hung on and kept the win and gave Luke Parrish his first victory of the season as well.
Yeah, we mentioned those 3 games prior to this. Actually, 2 of them, I should say, the ones that were blowout losses to Los Lunas and Belen. Eagles were down early, 5-0 to Los Lunas, 3-0 to Belen. And then at the end of the third, they were down 8-1 in the Los Lunas game, and then 5-1 or 8-1 again against Belen. The same exact score, 8-1. So early innings not looking good in those a couple of those early games that the Eagles played. This started off that way, 4-0, but again, that 6-run flush that they had there at the end of the third definitely put this one in the W. 17-9 the final. Eagles now 2-2 on the season. Tomorrow, Cleveland here, Sportsman's Park, 7:15 pregame, and the first pitch at 7:30. Maybe a little bit after that due to the prelim game. But again, a great way to spend some baseball Friday night right back here. Maybe go to the girls' game, basketball at Tasker. 6 o'clock start on that one, then come right over here to Sportsman's Park or listen to it on the internet.
Exactly, and yeah, just make sure if you do come over here, warm, keep warm, bundle up, and definitely enjoy the game because it's going to be a good one against Hobbs versus Cleveland.
And Saturday, of course, 12:32, the Eagles back in action for the third game of this big-time tournament. I'd like to thank you for tuning in tonight as your Hobbs Eagles get the W here at Sportsman's Park. And tomorrow night, back with you live. Eagles at 7:15 with the pregame show. Ron will be here for you, and hope you have a great rest of a Thursday out there and a nice weekend on the way.
Exactly. Have a good night.